More like having pity. It's not the same thing. Well, having pity and having a divine nature is it's a burden. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, I bet.
Do not
My
overestimate
man
your
wait,
abilities to.
my,
Yeah.
my man wait for that divine intervention, Riz.
All right, we're live. We should be good to go. Let me just make sure we're good here. All right, everything looks good on my end.
All right.
It's 11 in the morning. People already console warring for tomorrow. Are you kidding? Come on. It's 11 in the
Boy,
morning.
boy,
Relax.
they'll do that on a Tuesday, 7 a.m. They'll do that anywhere.
Be happy. Have a donut. Something. Just don't. Just get off of Twitter, bro.
Jeez.
If they get off Twitter, they lose their meaning in life.
Damn. You hitting the jugular right now.
They lose purpose, man. They gotta keep let them find their purpose, even if that purpose lasts for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that purpose
That's why
can.
God put them here on this earth.
That purpose could be blipped out if Elon Musk decides to get a little frisky that day.
Sheesh.
Just
My
saying.
man's gonna go personally to those accounts. All the trust me, bros.
Yeah. He's like, you like Aaron Greenberg? Delete.
Yeah.
Delete. I'm a blue man.
Jim Ryan profile account? Delete.
Delete. Uh, oh, Pokemon Pokemon fan game. Oh wait, Nintendo beat me to it. Whoops. But delete. Man, isn't it crazy how
Nice shot, baby.
you have
You
so
okay?
much power and money you can just like delete someone's existence from the internet?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the power I have of our channel. So.
Hey, yo, what?
Whoa.
Listen, I have all 6 Infinity Stones. Don't mess with me. I got you.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. Um, wait a second. Okay. Yeah, let's get started. Anyway, guys, welcome to the 103rd episode of the DualShock and Sense podcast. I am your host, Soul, the connoisseur anime waifu, is joined, as always, by my two co-hosts. Today we got Macho here. How you doing, man? What's going on?
Hello. King of Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy Fanatic, and I just want to, right before we actually start, I just want to make it very clear. I saw Little Mermaid 4 more times this
Oh,
past week.
Jesus. Here we go.
Oh no, you messed it up. I was waiting for the brother, this guy's. So let's start up. I saw Little Mermaid 4 more times.
No. I mean, either or is applicable to the situation. Man.
No, I'm just kidding, man. I didn't have no time to do that, but no, it was a weird week, man. I'm sure you guys saw the news of. I'm sure you saw the news of New York just being clouded and orange, and
Yeah.
it was like a
They had that Mexico filter on there.
yeah, exactly. It's
You know why that's happening in NY? It's because
because of Canada. Blame Canada.
no, they're filming. They're filming the next Mexican thriller. They are, yeah.
It's called
They
Concrete
need to make it
Jungle.
authentic.
It's called Concrete
Yeah.
Jungles, and yeah, I got you. No, it's actually because I dove into a heart of a New York City businessman, and that's what happened. Turned the entire city.
Oh
orange.
wow.
So we got some mementos out here. We're vibing, but nah, man, I'm in the good, man. It's been a weird long week, but thankfully I stuck to all my workouts. We're getting there. We're getting that summer bod, boys. So we're getting there. But today's cheat day, so excuse me while I let Walt go and have my Boston cream donut.
Hey, yo. Anyway, yeah.
Why'd
we
you
also
why'd
got
you
Walt.
take that sexually? What's going on?
Because why
No,
does
I
it have to
did-
be
I
a
did
Boston
it.
cream donut?
Because Boston cream donuts are the best, man. Especially when you bite into it and then yeah, you know what I mean.
And then what happens when you bite into it?
No. I didn't take it that way. I was just thrown off, you know. So that's
Oh,
all
okay.
good.
But what happens when you bite into it, Macho? Now I'm curious.
Anyway, we also got Walt here on the podcast. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Now I'm in the need for some creamy donuts. We're
Okay.
we're doing pretty good today. This week, did I watch any movies? I didn't watch Little Mermaid this week. I only saw it once, like a normal person last week.
No,
What I will
you're just a bad movie goer if you only saw it once.
what I will say is that in the next couple of days, I'm gonna be watching a Spider-Verse again, probably twice, because that's what I want to be keep watching and watching and watching. That's a movie I need to pause and at certain moments to just appreciate just how much detail there is to it. Uh, but we're here. We're we're in the trenches right now. We're in the midst of of a gaming war because no one's happy. Everyone thinks they have the best thing. No one has the best thing in reality. But then you have people that are just enjoying games. I love it. It's a nice environment, man. But hey, we're all here. We're Boston and creaming, and we're ready to get steaming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Um,
Bars.
we got some great topics to get through today. I want to remind everyone to go ahead and like the podcast, share it out, start subscribing to the channel, all that good stuff as we continue our march to 200 subscribers, man. It's been really cool seeing like the support that we've been getting lately. So yeah, let's keep it going. Um, yeah, so we're gonna start off talking about the games that we have been playing for this past week. Um, I think I can go first because mine's super quick. Just more Wasteland 3, really. Like I said last time, finished off the second act by basically the main thing about the game is you are brought to Colorado to help the sort of the leader or the ruler who's there with like kind of like wrangling his three children who have like split off to like rebel against him, and all three of those children are kind of like building up their own armies to kind of like go after their father and like take over all of Colorado and things like that. And I just dealt with the second children. The second child. Arrested him, brought him back to his dad, and I don't know what's gonna happen after that. But yeah, did that, and now sort of like the wheels are turning for like the later half of that game where I'm dealing with the last child who's like this. Who's his daughter, who he like views as like the only legitimate successor to his throne. So it's like it's gonna be really cool. Like she's already like a pretty cool character. So really excited for this later half of the game. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. It feels like I'm nearing the end, kind of, which is exciting. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Just Wasteland 3. What about you guys?
Macho, I'm gonna just like say my piece because honestly, this week in particular, I think I might have played a couple of minutes of something that I don't remember because this week is like my official first week of my new job, and I've been just training from when I wake up to when I, get off. So like, if anything, I've just been watching movies. I've been watching shows, like catching up on Peaky Blinders, which I haven't finished. Um, I've been just I haven't really gamed that much this week. I Today actually is when I'm gonna pick up Macho. I'm gonna pick up my Diablo copy because I haven't been able to even do that.
Damn,
Um,
really?
yeah, no, this week I've just honest to God, like because I've been working and there's 2 days that I work from home. I've just been wanting to be out of the house, so I've just been chilling and like just driving and going to places and like I just not be inside. So this week I'm just detoxing a little bit from technology, but I'm getting right to it starting, tonight and for the next week, which I want to play Diablo. I actually want to because I know once I start, it's over, y'all. Once I start, it's over. It's I'm not gonna want to stop. So that's pretty much what I've been doing and what's going on with me. So Mach, you can kick it away with your 4 times you watch fucking Little Mermaid. Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll praise the mermaid.
Whoa.
So yeah, this week was a fun mix of Street Fighter and a little bit of Diablo. Diablo 4, man, they were having some problems at launch. It was evident because when I try to log in. So like one of the things I do when I come home is it's a little bit of life story, but I work out when as soon as I come from work and take Harley out, stuff like that. I take my shower and I lay down on the couch, ready to play a game, right? and it happened like 2 times this week where I just start falling asleep. And I did that with Diablo, and I was like, oh, dude, like I'm not getting anywhere. I only got like an hour, 2 hours in. Like in the beta, you guys remember how you get to go to the hermit shack and you find out who that person is?
Hmm.
I got to that point,
Um,
and that's when I started falling asleep. So like,
Oh
yeah.
no.
so I was like, all right, let me just save it for the next day. The next day happens. It's Thursday. I go into the game. The game has me waiting 220 minutes to get into the damn game. That's when they're having login issues. So yesterday was actually the first day I was able to like really like log in quickly, like within just pressing the button, the main menu button, stuff like that, and starting to play more and play around with the build I have. I have a necromancer. His name is Toruk, and he's a vampire
Oh, I wonder
Navi.
why.
He's a
I
vampire
wonder
Navi.
why.
He's so damn cool, man. Basically like an undead Navi from the Avatar movie series. So, very excited about that. It's very
Oh, the last
cool.
Airbender, yeah.
And you can kind of take it like that. He is a bloodbender, so it's kind of a mix.
Oh.
So yeah, so it's actually pretty cool. I really like it. I think the one thing that I'm really gravitating towards Diablo 4 more than anything is the atmosphere of it. Again, midnight mass, kind of cults, religious cult vibes. That it's like it's bled into like every part of the game, and it's super cool and eerie and fun. It's a weird thing that I kind of want to live in this place because it's so like
Yes.
Yeah, just
yeah,
a little
a little bit, right?
It's like when people are like, "Oh my God, I love Attack on Titan. I wish I was there." No, you wouldn't. No, you don't wish you were there.
But it's like a cozy, eerie kind of vibe to it. Like
Cozy. That's wild. Yeah,
I,
bro, because
I can fall
you're
asleep to
not.
it, man.
Listen, Sol. I don't know about you, but if Macho's ever in this world, he's not gonna be one of those powered ones. He's just gonna be one of those NPCs that gets killed during a cutscene during introduction of a quest.
You're not
Like,
wrong,
my man,
but you're not
you
wrong.
wait.
But I still want to live in that world.
That ain't cozy.
What kind of friend do you guys know that will go see Little Mermaid 4 times in the theaters, but also want to live in the world of Diablo? I'm unique.
No one.
So,
I don't
exactly.
know anyone like that.
Nope.
Exactly. I'm unique. So be
I
grateful.
don't know. I don't know anyone who's dumb like that.
Be grateful, my divine presence.
Divine, demonic, more like.
No, overall it's a good game. I'm just enjoying it. It's a really like good chill vibes, man. So, but that
Yeah,
honestly, the
I
one
agree.
game I've been putting more time into this week because it was available at launch was Street Fighter 6. And I'm starting to copy what Maximilian does for his YouTube channel. So he used to do this way more in the past, like with either certain characters, certain games, where he had like a week of. So he would just have a week of like online matches for a particular game, or a week of a certain character he's playing in a game. So I decided to do that with Kimberly, and I was having so much fun, dude. I had to grind out of like the second lowest rank though because I'm trash at the game, but I'm learning. I'm getting better. I lost like 4 or 5 of my 10 placement matches because it what it does is that it gives you a range of people, so it's not just people that are just starting out playing. It's a mix of people that are already ranked. So depending on how good you do, they'll keep sending you to the people that are better at the game. So I lost about like half of those matches. So I ended up like an iron, which is the second lowest ranked. And throughout this week, I was just playing ranked matches with Kimberly, getting better, knowing more of her neutral game, what kind of special do at certain times, what's safe, what's not. And I ended up getting to like the last stage for silver. So I'm almost a gold rank now. I think after that it's platinum and then diamond and master or something like that. So yeah, getting through that. But the thing is, this is like I think this is the last. Yeah, it's actually the last couple of days I'm gonna play as Kimberly before I move on to a new character because I want to do what Maximilian does, where he plays like a week of a character and then moves on to another one that interests him. So the next person I'm gonna actually pick up is Marissa for the next week and just kind of lab her, see what she's doing, and take her to online matches and see how that goes. And then yeah, more Diablo. So yeah, that's just about it for me, man. It's more Street Fighter 6 and Diablo. But Street Fighter 6 is that game is amazing, man. Jeez, like the world tour mode is hilarious and fun. I love it. The online, the actual offline modes, like the extreme battles, are super cool, and very unique and very cool, man. So yeah, very good game. Very good game. Definitely go pick it up. It's worth
Nice.
all the money.
Nice. Yeah, it's. I feel like it's just reinforcing like having those two games sort of like coming out back to back, and then like Zelda not too long before that, like 2023, man. It's not slowing down. Um,
And
So
and speaking of though, just real quick, those two releases are just like packed with content. Not even two. The ones you mentioned are absolutely packed with content, like right out the gate, which is really cool to see.
yeah, for sure. I'm surprised. None of you guys played the Liza P demo.
I downloaded it, but I haven't gotten to it.
Okay,
Nah, no, I'm not really interested in it, honestly.
really, it looks pretty goddamn cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it
Um,
was one of those things where like I was very interested in it when it was first revealed, and then it felt like we've been hearing about it forever. So I'm just like, so I'm kind of deluded.
Yeah, so like if we ever get the, told that the pearly gates and Silver City is promised to us and we actually get to there when we die, March is gonna be like, "No, I've been waiting too much for that. I want to go to hell."
That's
um,
yeah, probably.
Yeah, Macho, play. Don't be a wuss. We've been talking about this game for so long. Try the demo. It's a demo. You're not committing. You're not
That
marrying
game
it.
has barely came out of my mouth, sir. So I'm gonna play Diablo and Street Fighter. Thank you.
Diablo, that's wild.
um, so yeah, let's move on to some of our topics that we have here. Also, Macho, do you mind tweeting out that we're live?
No.
I already did.
You did?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I already tweeted it.
Oh, I probably didn't see it because I don't think I was tagged. Anyway,
She probably has you muted.
oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. Uh, anyway, don't tell them all my secrets, goddamn. Um,
Got it. Every word you've muted is just Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Fanatic, Macho, Street Fighter.
uh, yeah. So let's move on to I mean, I guess sort of like the topic of the show, and that is Summer Games Fest. Um, so we had that on Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a 2 hour show. I went to a movie theater to watch it, which was funny because like literally, when I was in class, I was like, man, do I really want to go there? It's like an hour drive. Like, do I really want to do it? I ended up biting the bullet and going, and it was all right. It was an all right experience.
My man got the
Um,
popcorn. I remember you saying deliberately last Sunday, "I'm not excited," and then you had the
mhm.
popcorn ready in hand that day.
Yeah, man. That honestly, that's what convinced me. I was like, you know what? I like movie theater popcorn. Let me go there. So what was actually the funniest thing was so before the stream, some lady comes out to the movie to or to our like screening or whatever. Also, let me just say, nice ass seating. You know, the nice
Oh.
cushiony
Oh, okay.
chairs with the
I thought I
recliners.
was about to go another way. Okay.
No,
Yeah, same. My
no,
man started talking
no.
about the
Hey, yeah.
ladies and like, yo,
But
those
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
nice.
So it had like your legs propped up and all that. So yeah, really nice
Mm.
chairs, really big theater. Lady comes out with like a little clipboard. You can tell immediately she lets out a sigh. She doesn't want to be saying this because she doesn't care about what she's about to say, but she does it anyway. She's like, first, I want to thank everyone for coming out to this very special screening. Blah blah blah. Um, we have like a raffle for one lucky winner. Whoever wins this will get a free screening with 25 of their friends to Gran Turismo, like an early screening of Gran Turismo. And so
Okay.
she's just like reading off this clipboard, blah blah blah. And she's like, okay, so the person who is sitting in seat G5 will get to see Gran Turismo like 2 weeks early with 25 of their friends or whatever. And I'm like literally sitting like a few seats like down from the person who won, and he's like sitting with like a bunch of friends. He's like, "Oh, I guess I won."
Oh
Like,
man.
and he was like, "I guess we're going to see Gran Turismo." It was so funny, so random too, man. Because it was just like you got the feeling that they were not gonna see Gran Turismo at all.
How many people were in
um,
there?
it was like it wasn't full, but it was like I'd say half full, so like maybe like 25 to 20 people, kind of like in that range.
Oh, so okay, so at least
It's
there's
it's
some
one of the smaller
people.
smaller what do you call it, rooms, right? Because it
No,
didn't
no,
seem
no.
like a
It
big
was no.
traditional
It
room.
was a big traditional like theater room.
Really
Yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So yeah, I'd say like a little less than half filled up, but
Okay.
but yeah, so yeah, that was that. It was fun like being there, seeing the games that like got like a pop from the crowd and the ones that didn't. That was really fun to see. So obviously things like Mortal Kombat, got like the biggest reaction from the crowd. Spider-Man 2, obviously, when that showed up, that got a big reaction from the crowd. Um, a little bit from Final Fantasy, not a lot. You could tell, like at least the people next to me, like the ones who won the Gran Turismo thing, they definitely like weren't Final Fantasy people, because like it was like me and then like some other people behind me that like cheered as soon as we saw like Midgard show up on the top screen. That was it. Like not a lot of people. I don't even think not a lot of people even knew that it was Final Fantasy in general.
Oh, gotcha. So they're
Um,
Fortnite fans. Gotcha.
Probably. Um, I'm trying to think what else. Honestly, yeah, I don't know what else. Like those were the ones that stood out in terms of like getting like the biggest reaction.
Sonic. Yeah.
I don't. Nah, not really.
Prince of Persia. Hmm.
No.
Damn.
Not even, not even. Yeah, Alan Wake as well didn't really get anything. So I mean,
The
yeah, it
Pokemon
was
game with guns.
that got a reaction out of me. What did get a reaction was the whole thing when you remember when they just showed Ever Crisis, and then Jeff was like, speaking of Final Fantasy, and then like everyone in the theater like kind of was like, oh, and then Jeff was like, no, 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 no. That was really funny.
That man baited the
Um,
hell out of me. I stopped doing my workout. I was mid workout when I was watching the show.
yeah.
And I kid you not, I got
Um,
off the elliptical and he was like, speaking of Final Fantasy, I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Door jazz. I was like, motherfucker.
yeah.
Yeah, he
Um,
did on purpose. I will say one of the things that really I didn't like, either he's tone deaf at how the community is, or like it works when he was like he emphasized that at the end of the show it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be something that we like it's gonna shock us. It's gonna be mind blowing. It's gonna be, and I genuinely in my mind I was like, I cannot think of anything that is of that caliber that would blows everyone's socks off. But it, although something cool, I don't think it warranted that much hype because we kind of knew about it. You know, we
I'm
knew about the
not. I'm not
existence of this.
gonna. I don't know, man. I feel like people are being like a little too like I don't know what the word is for that, but like I don't know. I'm not gonna like hold his feet over the fire for that. It's like it's whatever. We still got something pretty cool to close out the show, so I'm not
Pretty
gonna
amazing, I'd say.
yeah I'm not gonna be like, oh well, he said this and like whatever. Like we still got something really really cool.
Yeah, I
So
saw I
yeah,
saw a couple of opinions on that they were kind of disappointed with the end. You know, it's a great trailer.
Disappointed?
Di-
Okay, that's wild. One thing is to like hype it up and be like something, because for me it's like I did not expect this to be in there, just not to that caliber. I expected maybe like something similar to what we got, but a whole ass trailer game, like oh my god, like that shit, that got
Yeah, I
me.
know it's because like it's like what you were just saying before. How like people were like, "Oh, I expected something I didn't know was a thing," but we got what we were expecting, which is why some people were
And wanted.
disappointed. Yeah, so I understand that viewpoint, even though I think it's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like not stingy, but kind of like misguided, I guess, misguided hype. But I don't know. I didn't expect to close the
um
show though. To be honest, I did not expect to close the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, let's kind of go around the panel and what was everyone's sort of like overall thoughts about the show? How was it for you guys?
I liked it. I saw it from beginning to end when I was doing my workout. So it was an easy kind of hour and a half really. So it's going back and forth. I think it had way more highs than the PlayStation Showcase, and it kept me engaged a lot longer as well. Like I was looking at my screen.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I think it was. I think it was better than PlayStation Showcase. No, it was better than PlayStation Showcase. I'll say that.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was just more entertaining. I like the celebrity guests that came out with Nick Cage and Ed Boon. I like the gameplay presentations. The only one that kind of floundered for me was Alan Wake 2. It felt kind of boring just watching it. So maybe it's better, just one of those games better to play than anything else. But there's a couple
Yeah.
announcements here and there. I was just like, whatever. But then there's a lot of times I was just looking. I was like, oh yeah, I want to play that. I want to play that. I want to play that. So I got more enjoyment out of it than PlayStation Showcase. So I would give it like a 7.
Uh, so I watched it. I was working, but I had it on the side. As I wasn't like consistently watching it. If it was something interesting, I'd pause work and then I'd watch it, and then if there's something I'm not interested in, I'd go back to work. So I missed some things that I wasn't really interested in. So I only remember what I liked about it. Um, I will say to your point of Alan Wake, Macho, that was the one moment where I had to mute the TV because when the guy when like and we have a new hero and he looked to the crowd like like he was like, yeah, we have someone new, and no one reacted. I was like, oh no, 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 I want to avoid this. I don't want to cringe right now. I'm good. Like there were a lot of moments where I realized why this is more entertaining was more entertaining than the PlayStation Showcase. It's because of the human factor, because you have a live audience and the reactions and the applause and the stage and all of that made it a lot more watchable and a lot more entertaining.
100%.
Whereas whereas the PlayStation Showcase kind of suffers from lack of entertainment and only there for the games. If you're only announcing games and not depending on a host or on a celebrity, being charming, you kind of have to bring your best of the best, which is why the showcase kind of falters. But I think
I mean,
overall,
that's the double-edged sword right there. It's like you get
right,
moments where you get the Marvel Snap guy up there on stage, and then you get
exactly.
moments
He was so
where,
hype,
but then you get moments on the flip side where you have Nicolas Cage being cool on stage, right? So it's like I
right?
don't know, it's kind of double-edged sword.
Keeps you on your toes, and I think this is one of that's one thing that every single showcase, I mean, Summer Games Fest, E3 even back then, uh, celebrities were a hit or miss because you would either have a celebrity or an influencer. And I think this is one of the few times where I feel like a celebrity really felt genuine. There's just something I've never had any gripes with Nick Cage. This is one of the few times that I'm like, oh, I like that he's getting introduced into this world. I like the way he's talking about it, how he's being very respectful. He doesn't come off as disingenuous. Uh, I don't know. I liked that segment.
Yeah, it's not like a Joel
It's
McHale in E3, right, where he's like making fun of everything. Like Nick Cage was
yeah,
actually genuinely interested in getting into the gaming world, and he even said it himself. It's like every breath, every gas that you make, we are one. Like it's like cringy, but also like really funny. He's super into it, which is nice.
yeah, and it doesn't. That's the thing. Like I think because his persona is so based around a little bit of cringe and a little bit of like just unhinged nature that he has in all of his. I mean, for God's sake, one of his most recent movies is about him playing himself, and he is a lunatic sometimes in that movie. So like he's embraced who he is. So I think that added a lot to the show. I'd say I give it definitely. If the showcase was like a 6.5 or a 7, this was like a 7.5. Uh, Mainly because if I'm gonna give it an 8, I I would need to get more context of other things that were announced because I don't have the full picture of it. But the things that I do know that were announced during it, oh yeah, they can very much push it to an 8 probably. Um, but yeah, I don't know if we're talking about that now, if we're like highlighting. What do you think? So what were your what's your rating kind of?
I think our standards for showcases have gotten so low that we think that this is like the I was listening to Kind of Funnies.
Wait, who says the gold
Uh,
standard?
them,
Them.
them. One of them, they all gave it 4 out of 5s,
Well,
and one of them gave it a 5 out of 5. And he literally said, and I quote, if this isn't a 5 out of 5 showcase, then I don't know what is. And I'm like, MFR, we've seen 5 out of 5 showcases. And it is not this. Um, so like, yeah, it was wild to me, man. I was flabbergasted. Um, so like, look, man. To me, this is like on the same level of as the PlayStation Showcase, like a straight up 6 out of 10. Like it was fine.
That's fair.
Um,
That's
it
fair.
was it was like I'm not mad that I watched it. But it didn't have like that one single trailer that like made me jump out of my seat. You know what I mean? That like
It didn't blow your
how,
socks off in the movie theaters as you reclined in your comfy chair.
yeah, man. Like it,
Yeah.
it didn't it didn't yeah, it didn't have that. I'm trying to think of like a good example of like a trailer recently that did that for me. Like
God of
there'll
War
always be
Ragnarok.
a fantastic that story trailer is fantastic, but I'm trying to think of like an E3 trailer that like came out of nowhere that really I'll say like the
Mm.
the first Last of Us Part 2 trailer from PSX
Oh,
2016.
that's a
Like
good one.
you
I
weren't
can tell
expecting
you,
that, and
bro.
that
I can
that
tell you
trailer.
too. Like, there's one trailer, but then there's announcements of things in a game because there's nothing that compares. Not, I don't think. Listen,
What about
so
wait?
as
What
much as I
about
love
Final
Last of
Fantasy
Us,
16?
I was about to say Final
Yeah,
Fantasy
yeah, yeah.
VII's reveal is
Yeah.
remake. One Final Fantasy VII remakes is still, I think, the hypest. Aside from Kratos being revealed back with God of War 2018,
Oh yeah.
I think that's like one of the most hype moments in any just showcase.
That's what I'm
Aside
talking
from,
about. That's what I'm talking about. Is that
yeah,
there has been both of those showcases that there wasn't that moment where like I
but
remember
that's
when the Last of Us
pre-COVID
Part
though.
Two, the Last of Us Part Two, was that first trailer from PSX 2016 when it was first revealed. Like what
Hmm.
was so cool about that, and again, this goes into the whole live audience thing, is that
Hmm.
when they slowly pan out to show the Firefly symbol on
On the
the
stop
stop
sign.
sign, you
Hmm.
hear the crowd roaring, right?
Oh.
And then it shows the Naughty Dog logo, everyone cheering as well. And then the moment that it cuts to, you don't know that it's Ellie first, but when the moment when you see just like the lower half of her face, the crowd drops, like it's dead silent. Like you can hear like a needle or a pin drop, right? That's how quiet it is. And like I'm just like that focus, right? Of just like cheering to like
Hmm.
everyone just like focusing on like what's about to happen next, right? Like I don't know. I feel like there hasn't been a trailer like that in these past two showcases.
Yeah, no.
Regardless, at least with the PlayStation showcase, man, like for me, things like Ghost Runner 2, seeing Baldur's Gate 3, um, seeing Dragon's Dogma 2, seeing Sword of the Sand, right? Like those games are things that really, really
Phantom
speak to
Blade.
me. A Phantom Blade as well. Those are games that really, really speak to me. I feel like I didn't really get that here, aside from Rebirth. Um, Even the Baldur's Gate 3 trailer at the Summer Games Fest thing was just kind of like okay, like it was just like
Wow,
a
really? No, even the voice
yeah.
actor dropped. That was pretty
I
cool.
don't care about it. I didn't know who he was.
Oh, you know about
Uh,
Jason Isaacs? He's a boy, man.
nah,
Draco Malfoy's dad in Harry Potter.
yeah, I don't care.
He's dope,
Um,
man. No, he's a
but
cool actor. He's dope.
they didn't really show like anything like sure cool that he's in the game, but like I wanted to see the game like in motion, like show me like
Mm.
a combat scenario or something like that. Like
Like
I don't
Pillars
know,
of
like
Eternity did.
um wait, you mean Path of Exile?
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Path of Exile too.
Even
Yeah.
even that one though was just like do you guys remember that one? It was
That
just
was
like
weird. That was,
yeah, like they just like moved up the dungeon or whatever and
yeah,
took out a few enemies and bam, trailer done.
yeah.
Like okay.
Learn more July, whatever.
And that's kind of how I felt about the Alan Wake 2 trailer as well. Like the game looks awesome, but it was like literally just like, slowly creeping through the woods, enters this like home or whatever, kills one dude, end of trailer. Like
Yeah.
even that one too and if you remember with that one specifically, they were making a big deal of like, hey, like this is one of our headliner games alongside Mortal Kombat that's going to be at the event or at the showcase, right? Like there was all this marketing of like, hey, Alan Wake 2 new unedited gameplay at Summer Games Fest. And then like to show up to the actual event and it just being a quick like taking out one enemy and that's it was just kind of like, oh, I was expecting a lot more the way you guys were talking about this, you know.
I
Um,
thought they were gonna switch because he talked about like having a dual protagonist. Excuse me,
yeah,
for like a couple minutes. So I thought they were like in the middle of that demo they're gonna switch to Alan, but it didn't end up happening.
yeah, which is it's fine, whatever. Um, but yeah, so like I don't know, man. Like I said, like those games at the PlayStation Showcase spoke to me a lot more. Also seeing Marathon, which I was just talking to someone at school about that trailer, and I was like, yo, like that trailer is. I was watching it again, my guy. That trailer is sick. Like I might not be into that extraction, well, to that game like when it actually comes out, but I'll always have that trailer, man. That trailer was cool as hell. Um, but yeah, and then like when I look at Summer Games Fest, like I honestly I don't like that Pokemon with guns game was cool, you
Hollow
know?
World, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool, but like really aside from that and Rebirth, I don't know if I have really anything from there that like like from the like when the next day that I was like really like like excited to talk to people about, if that makes sense. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I was really excited to see that Return to Moria game. Not gonna lie, my Lord of the Rings fan in me was fluttering. I love to see that. It was like a
Yeah.
survival building. It was a survival Minecraft Lord of the Rings. But I'm down for it. It looks pretty dope. It actually looks better than Gollum, so I'll take it, man.
yeah, that's not hard.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank
but
God.
yeah, so I mean, let's go through like what was some of everyone's highlights specifically. Like, what were some of the games that really spoke to y'all? Obviously, we'll get to Rebirth. We'll get to Rebirth.
Yes, sir. Yes,
But
sir.
what were some of the other things that really stood out to you guys?
Yakuza, 100%.
Oh yeah, for sure. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Did you hear
Yakuza, my
too? That's
boy.
that's
Yeah.
not getting released physically. Sad times,
Yeah. No, okay, Macho. I get your passion. I get your
man.
points. I do not agree with it. I frankly don't care. Like at this point, I've stopped caring to where like physical disc. Listen, save me the hassle. I can just hook it up and I'll get on and we'll move on with our days. Like honestly, at
Oh
this
man, you
point,
hearing this, soul? Sad times.
no, listen. All I care. Steelbook. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Art book. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, there's some pens. Maybe I can get those. Or oh, statue. Statue. Very nice. Very nice. But a disc. Listen, it's my box is still gonna occupy the space where the disc would be. So let me just give me the box then. Like if I'm gonna argue in favor of these decisions, that's what I'm gonna be like. I'm gonna be like, you know what? It doesn't really. I
Wow.
don't care, cause I don't care. I'm not gonna pretend I can care.
Wow,
And
you
I'm
know, you
tired.
know,
Like,
you know better than the Labo that Nintendo released. That's crazy. He used more
listen,
cardboard
man, listen.
boxes.
Whoa. No, and when I saw the what was it? What was the collector's? The Spider-Man one, right? That's the one that is not getting. Uh, what was it? A
Yeah, it's
goddamn.
it's it's a collector's edition. Doesn't come with the physical version of the game. It's just a steelbook.
Right. So like, yeah, cool, steelbook. That's all I care about. I get the steelbook, I get the nice art outside and inside, and we call it a day. Um, but yeah, no, Yakuza, like a dragon. No, yeah, no, it's like a dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. I think it was the name. Um, fucking beautiful. Holy hell, what a hype ass trailer. Why is my man suddenly just? He has like spiritual strings coming out of his hands. Why? I don't know. I don't care. That's the thing with Yakuza. You can very much tell me, oh, they can now spew fire from their feet. Okay, cool. Let him. In fact, give him jetpacks. Make him run over walls. I don't care. This looks so much fun. Kiryu hasn't aged a bit, even though the man is probably dying inside. But my one of my favorite lines, which he tends to be this kind of, he's a show off. When he's surrounded by all his these goons, and he goes, "Just know that you're choosing. I gave you the chance to go, and you chose to be here. Like you chose to stay." My man knows what he's about. He has the fists of Goliath. He's King Kong in the flesh. Okay. Uh, I'm excited, man. That's what really got me. It got me shivering. It got me tweaking. It got me. But you know. What about you, Macho?
About this trailer. Um,
Hmm.
this is one of the ones I deliberately ignored because I didn't know if it was like tied to the story of like the previous games or the case might be. So I just kind of put it on mute as it went by.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't want
Man.
to be spoiled because I don't know like who's who or what's going on, so I didn't want to catch any of that during the trailer. But
Honestly, man,
I love the name of it though. The man who erased his name. Like
bro,
ooh, why? Tell me more.
play the other games. No, honestly, man, you don't. You could have watched this game without ever playing a Yakuza game, and I feel like this is the type of game that might be accessible for people that have never played anything else with Kiryu.
Hmm.
It's giving me that that
Like
vibe.
reboot vibes.
Not reboot, but like the 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 context doesn't matter as much, but if you know the context, then you get like double the enjoyment. Kind of like with Like a Dragon, uh, with the like 7, Yakuza 7. Is it
Hmm.
7? Yakuza 7.
Yeah.
New protagonist, new area, new story. But if you've been around since Yakuza Kiwami, Kiwami 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, uh, there's like nods and hints at so many things. There's talks about like, oh, did you hear about this one gang that dismantled? Supposedly the chairman did this or the chairman did that, and you're like, if you played the game, you're like, oh, I was there. You're like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme. You're like, oh, oh, I was there. um, but if you don't, you're like, ooh, intriguing. Maybe I'll play those games, maybe I won't. But still, this game is amazing. So I just love that this is not even their next mainline entry, because I think this was like $50. The next mainline entry in the Yakuza series is with Kiryu and the new protagonist. Uh, I think it's a dual protagonist game. So,
Yeah, it
man,
still
this
sucks
is
that
cool.
it's not releasing physically.
I don't
Um.
care.
Anyway,
Who gives a shit?
what did you? I'm curious. What did you guys think about Prince of Persia? Because it seems like uh if I can say
I loved
if I'm
it.
saying this correctly, like reception has been positive, like for like a lot of games journalists and like I think the hardcore audience is liking the direction that it's going, but then like you look at the YouTube videos, obviously, and it's like apparently everyone hates this. So like, what about you guys? How did you guys feel about seeing Prince of Persia's like new direction?
I love it, man. It's being made by the same developers that did Rayman Legends, which
Yeah,
is an excellent game. And so taking a look at this and knowing it's gonna be an action platformer with some Metrovania like elements, it has me really interested. I mean, that trailer was awesome. Just like all the platforming he was doing, the action scenes, like it was great, man. I think the to your point, so I think the reason why I got so many dislikes and hate is because of the choice of music in it. Um,
yeah.
What?
It doesn't make sense, man. Like
yeah,
because okay, so first of all, like that's I think that's the reason while I was watching in the theater of like me trying to figure out what the hell I was watching. It's funny because early in the trailer they do say like the word Prince. So immediately I was like, "Oh, okay, so this is probably a Prince of Persia game." But then it's like you just hear the music and I'm just like, "Oh, so I guess it's not." Like I don't know, like it just didn't fit the vibe like at all for me, at least.
it felt like yeah, it felt like it was if Epic was making a Fortnite platformer, and this is what it was.
Yeah.
This is kind of what it like the
I
whole vibe of the trailer felt like, but it looks fun as hell.
I vibed with it. I didn't mind the music. I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe
I
because I
didn't
played.
either. It's a lot of people are like, oh, this doesn't fit, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's a game. who who gives a shit, man? Like you can. That's the beauty of games. You can mesh two things that never in a million years you would think they would mesh, and then boom, you got Horizon Zero Dawn. You know, like sometimes it's just if it didn't click, it didn't click. Don't click the dislike though.
No, I just think
Just don't watch
I
it.
just think it's because like Ubisoft falls into that realm of like we're gonna please
Mm,
the crowd pleasers, and
yeah.
so let's make it relevant and modern and fun. And I think that's what instead of
Fortnite.
Yeah, so I think that's why people are kind of like it looks great, but the vibe of it is definitely modern when it should be its own thing, or I don't know. But
You know
people
what it
have different
reminded
opinions
me
about
of a
this
little
whole
bit?
thing. It is what it is. As long as it's fun,
You,
who cares?
the gameplay and some of the set pieces they showed, I won't lie, it brought me back to Metroid Dread. Like a lot
Mm-hmm.
of like the way movement of the protagonist and the way that things were happening, I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of Metroid like heavy." Like I don't know, I liked it. I liked how it felt, how it apparently looks like it might feel. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I think that one looks interesting. I wasn't expecting Prince of Persia to be here, so
yeah.
pretty cool.
That
An
was a
Ubisoft
great
original, by the way.
one. That was a
Oh
great
yeah,
show opener, and the art directions. The art direction of that game is really damn good. So that
Hmm.
looks really fun.
I
yeah.
will say I'm sad we didn't get any foam stars. So.
I know.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. It does look pretty interesting.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'll definitely wait to see more of it because I don't know. I'm not the biggest Prince of Persia guy, so
Yeah, I've only
um
played one. It's the Two Thrones, the one with the on PSP. It was you could like switch between two people.
mm,
He had like half. He was like half demon or something. I don't remember. That's the only Prince of Persia I've ever played. It was fun though. I didn't play the Sands of Time or whatever people allude to, which is I think the one that's getting a remake, right?
Yeah, that's the one I played back on PS2.
Gotcha.
yeah.
Did you play that one,
So
Soul? Did you play the Sands of Time or no?
maybe I like rented it when I was a kid one time, but
Yeah.
yeah, I honestly don't know. Yeah, so that's what they opened the show with. Mortal Kombat 1.
Woo!
They showed off a bunch of a really cool trailer with that, and then they had Ed Boon come out to talk about some of the new additions and what they're doing story wise with this. How this is like
Spoilers. He spoiled Mortal Kombat 11.
how this is kind of like taking place in like basically like an alternate like reality or whatever. I thought it was pretty
Correction.
cool. I thought it was
Correction. I
pretty
need to
cool that he
correct you.
said that it was like Scorpion and Sub Zero are like brothers in this like new universe or whatever.
It's not you. He's resetting. Okay? It's not an alternate reality. It's Liu Kang became a god in the last one, and now he's like, okay, you know what? Let me start all over. Okay? They made it canon. It's a canon event. Okay?
I thought he said
Until
alternate
2099 about
universe.
it.
Yeah, I thought he said that
No,
too.
so the way that I understood it was Liu Kang just set out to kind of just make his own thing, but I don't know if that implies that he literally did like a Lucifer where he just went towards another universe, or he became a god and created his own universe, or reset atop the one that was already fucked. Um,
I mean, the way
I-
it sounded from what he's saying, it was like it was an alternate universe. Because like in my head, the way that they were able to do Mortal Kombat 1 is to be able to have it as a spin-off series as opposed to the regular standard like canon timeline. So they can have like a sub
it's
they
a
can have a
canon.
sub they can have a sub it's a canon event. They can
It's a
have a
canon event.
they can have a subgroup of Mortal Kombat games that focus on this assist mechanic without affecting the mainline series as traditionally 1v1. That's the
Gotcha.
way
It's not my fault.
that's the way like I was thinking like in his brain of like, oh, it's like an alternate universe, and that's why we would have different kind of game modes and stuff like that or whatever.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's a canon event. What about you, Sol? Did you like this? Did you like what you see? I fucking loved it. What do you think?
I mean, it looked cool, but I'm not gonna play it.
I'm asking if you want to play it. I thought what you thought about it. It looked good. It looked. I like the new designs of the people.
We definitely got
They
more
don't
than
look
four
uncanny,
fatalities.
bro. That was wild. Those fatalities are wild.
That was something.
Holy hell. I never think they can top it, and then they're like, how can we dismember the human body?
Oh, dude.
Find ways.
Katanas, the IGN just released a video of all the fatalities they were playing with around with from Summer Games Fest in the past, like demos, stuff like that. Katana has this one fatality where she takes both her blades or fan blades and puts it at the top of one person, the bottom of their feet was, and then they just spin around and slice until they meet in the middle, and the person's just absolutely nothing. You just see guts and blood everywhere. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, dude. Their engine for making bodily horror is undeniably the goat of the industry, man. It's crazy.
This is why Omni-Man and Homelander make sense. because those are very
Oh,
brutal
oh, I
characters.
forgot they would probably go to the game. That's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, man.
Oh, fuck. I can't wait. I'm so glad I put my money down for this at GameStop.
Oh, you already
Damn,
pre-ordered it?
Yeah, when I went to go pick up Diablo, I put $5 down for Mortal Kombat
that's
1.
true.
Hmm.
Jeez, okay.
He
Nice.
texted me this receipt like, "Yeah, baby, look at this." I'm like, "Hey,
Yeah.
yo,
I traded,
yes, sir."
traded a good bunch of games and picked up Diablo 4 for free and then put $5 down Mortal Kombat. Yes, sir.
My man said, I'm gonna give Kirby Star Allies and then take the most demonic games back home."
Yeah, yeah, I know. The girl at the couch, she's probably like, "Oh, Kirby Star Allies. Oh, okay. This game, that game. Okay, what do you want? Diablo. What?"
It's like when Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal came out at the same time.
Yeah.
And started making Isabel looking like Doom guy.
That's the duality of man right there.
Sir.
Yeah, so Mortal Kombat 1 looked great. Let's go to I guess Spider-Man 2, the one that I was not expecting.
Mm.
But that was the the one PlayStation
Oh man.
Studios game that was that was there, you know.
Now there's another one. There's another one.
Mm.
Wait, another PlayStation Studios?
PlayStation Productions, baby.
Oh, right. So,
Oh man.
really quickly, that's why I prefer the PlayStation Showcase to this because we didn't get that there. So,
Yeah.
but focusing on Spider-Man 2, yeah. So they had Brian Intihar come out, talk a little bit about the game, shared a little bit, some tidbits about the game. Obviously, things like Eddie Brock is not Venom in this game. There's going to be
Yeah, and
other.
in a spoiler alert, Jason Todd wasn't Arkham Knight, but continue.
Wait, what?
Jason
Huh?
Todd was, yeah. I just said like Eddie Brock isn't Venom. Jason Todd wasn't Arkham Knight, so yeah.
But what's the did they say before the game that Jason Todd wasn't going to be Arkham Knight?
Yeah, Sefton Hill when I was like, nope, it's not Jason Todd.
Spoilers, it was.
Yeah, so
We'll see.
yeah, temper your
We'll see.
expectations. It could be. I mean, the thing is like they set up a lot of stuff Spider-Man 1 to make that statement pretty true, but we'll see what happens. So
Could be Mary Jane.
Um,
It could be Harry,
so-
because
yeah,
remember they hinted at that the last
So
one.
they and then he also mentioned that there were that Craven is here to hunt both Spider-Man and possibly others, implying that there's other heroes that will possibly make a cameo in this game.
Yeah.
There's more villains than the ones that we've seen so far. More than we've seen Lizard. We know Venom's going to be there, and obviously Craven. So there's going to be more villains, which is cool. So yeah, and then we got the release date obviously at the end, October 20th. So yeah, I mean, what was sort of your guys' overall thoughts with Spider-Man 2 showing up here? Because I honestly was not expecting it. That's why I said during our over and under that I didn't think that it would be here. But yeah, it makes sense that Sony would kind of be like, let's get a little bit of like like our like all eyes on Spider-Man during the showcase. Let it kind of like breathe a little bit and then continue having like all eyes and attention on Spider-Man 2 again a few weeks later. So yeah, what did you guys think about the information that we got?
I think Spider-Man is kind of overrated. I'm kidding. I think the way I don't know about Craven. I don't know much about Craven. Um, all I know is his name is Craven the Hunter, so I would have, I assumed he was just like a bounty hunter, like a Lobo type thing, but he's not. He's just on Earth. Um, when they set him up as this man, by the way, he's not a super, like, he doesn't have superpowers. My man's just really good at his job. That's super cool. I mean, mind you, maybe he's like amped up and like on steroids or whatever. But that's really cool how they set up like this major villain to be this dangerous, and I love the concept art that they showed about of Venom. Uh, like that is, I'm glad they went with Venom like and in his true form, like massive, like feral looking beast, and fighting in the air with Miles and Spider-Man and Peter Parker, which makes me think, of course, that either there's someone else that's tinkering with him, or like does he infect someone when he comes down from space? Is he already around? Is he hinted at the end of Spider-Man 1? Is that him? Is that Venom like in that tank? Like,
Um,
do they have the symbiote there, or is it just Harry that they're hinting at?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was like the symbiote that was there. So I don't know if it's definitely alien, like probably based. But you get to assume that Osborn probably got first dibs on it and decided to use it for his son because we know that Harry was sick.
Right. And I like that they are confirming that he is indeed hunting more people, because in the first trailer last week for the showcase we did get a glimpse of, oh, I have a new hunting ground for you, and they show New York, and they show a bunch of avatars popping up of different pictures, and some of them are blacked out, so I assume some of them might be the in question, the heroes that are in question and whatnot. I don't know. I'm more excited. I was already excited last week with the showcase. Now I'm even more hyped up because I actually got to see Venom, not just his face. Even if it was concept art. What about you, Macho?
I thought it was awesome. Well,
Awesome.
well, because I'm more because the way you're talking about it makes me think like how much I really love the story they're setting up for Craven. Not just like the whole fact of Venom's gonna be in it and kind of the sort of Peter Parker family drama involving all that with Mary Jane and all that kind of stuff. But also Miles being in it is a big highlight. But I just love the idea of Craven getting so bored. And then, to be clear, Walt, I don't think this man really is like on any drugs, like or on any Bane from DC stats or anything like that. He's just really good at what he does. Like he's the best of the
That's
best.
amazing.
I think in the comics, he has one called Craven's Last Hunt, I think, and the cover art is Spider-Man in a graveyard. So
Okay.
So this man knows he knows what he's doing. So the fact that he's going to New York and for him it's like a game for him where he's just gonna uncage everything and everybody and see what happens so that he can just have fun. I think that's so cool, and I'm really excited to see how it all plays out because it might be a point where Craven unlocks like unhinges rather like all the villains from Spider-Man's past, and he's been Spider-Man for like maybe close to a decade, maybe a little more than that. So man built up a rogue gallery. So he's probably gonna unlock everybody, which causes Spider-Man or Peter, in a sense, to take on the symbiote because he needs to counter all this. So I'm really looking forward to see what kind of story they tell with this more than anything. As far as like the box art though, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think it's cool, it's simple and nice, but like I don't know. I feel like they could have really like done it up with like having Venom on the cover or something, or I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan. I do like the fact that they have like the try and true pose for Spider-Man, and then have Miles right behind him with his electric fist. But then when you see Spider-Man, he's doing like this regular like you know web shooter pose. I don't know how you want to call it. You see the symbiote sort of climb up his arm. I think that's pretty cool. So, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the box art though. I think it's like okay.
Yeah, and then we have we have some people like actually I'm not gonna name his name, but making a 24-minute on the video on the box art. I don't know if you saw that.
Wow.
No, I did not. But it's crazy.
Yeah, we won't mention his name. Um, but
Voldemort.
yeah,
Oh, hold on. What
it's
the?
all right. It's all right.
It's all right. I mean, it's all right. Like,
Um, but yeah, pretty. It makes you wonder now. Like, I mean, we still don't know like if Stellar Blade is coming out this year. Still saying 2023. So we'll see what's up with that. We did get a release date for Eternites, I think. Which is like a
Hold on, real quick. Sorry, guys. For some reason, my the playlist reset, and it's actually showing Jay Pari's and Persona's live stream. I'm not sure how long that was going on, but I apologize, fellas. My bad.
oh, okay. Um, so yeah, I mean, so we know Spider-Man 2 is coming out in October, so it makes me curious, like, where does Helldivers fit in? Stellar Blade, if that is still on track for this year. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see like where those two fit. Um, so and then also like seeing that Alan Wake 2 is just like 3 days before Spider-Man 2, it's like, God, man, I feel I feel bad for that game, man. You know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I know. I'm kind of the same way. I'm like, that's a weird placement.
I mean, I'm sure that they didn't like. I mean, Remedy's not in charge of that, you know.
Yeah,
So,
true.
but yeah, man, that's Spider-Man 2. Nice little update that we got from that. Um, are there any like obviously we'll get to Rebirth, of course. Well, do you want to talk about what's it called, Poland or whatever?
Hmm? Paul World?
I literally just said Poland. That's a country. Yeah, yeah, Poland. Yeah, yeah.
um,
So
uh-huh. I knew about
have you?
this. So
Yeah,
so
have
this
you heard
game
about this before?
so yes, this game I believe I don't know if it's I don't think it's been out or anything, but I know that I heard about it some time ago in a different show because I don't remember which one, and I remember it because it was essentially just Pokemon but with guns.
No.
You just have like a militia of tiny cute monsters picking up AK-47s and killing each other for resources, to eat each other, to catch each other, I guess. It looks like a very well polished fan game, kind of.
It does.
What was like your impression? What did you think when you like first saw this?
I had never heard of it before, and like literally, Keely described it as Pokemon with guns, and like I kind of like I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. Then like you see the game in motion, and it's like, this looks better than the last five Pokemon entries, you know?
Oh
Like,
man.
hey, yo. But no, it looks absolutely just insane, and I'm sorta into it. Um, yeah, I actually want to play it, man. It looks dumb, like just dumb fun, you know.
For
So yeah,
sure.
I want to try it.
It gave me happy. Have you ever seen Happy Tree Friends on YouTube?
No.
No? Okay, it's like these very, very cute animals. It's like a cartoon, very, very cute animals. You have like, like literally like squirrels and dogs and whatever. But every episode, they just find the worst ways to kind of die. And it's just the most gruesome, the most chaotic ways to go out.
It's like Mortal
And it gave
Kombat, but with cartoons.
Oh, have you seen it, Macho?
Yeah, I've seen it. It traumatized me so much.
Same. Like back in school, like middle school, it's like, oh, Happy Tree Friends. And I'm like, oh, don't look it up. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna. And I looked it up and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I get why they told me not to do it because now I can't sleep.
Yeah, it's like it's actually it's torture porn, but with with like little cartoons. Like it's really bad.
Yeah,
I
little
I
like
I am curious, how is this game solely just like the combat encounters, or like what is the ultimate goal, because obviously, with something like Pokemon, it's like, you're getting all eight
catch 'em all.
badges, or well, you're getting your badges, whatever, to become the what, Pokemon champion or whatever the hell it's called, right? So like what is like, I wonder what's the goal here. Is it just you're just shooting other creatures, or like is this like,
So,
I'm not expecting it to be like an RPG, or
hmm
possibly is it, is there like, yeah, is there like a story? Like, yeah, I'm curious about all that kind of stuff.
let me read you the a little quick description from Steam because it's been on Steam. It's coming
Oh,
soon. It says.
this looks awesome.
Power World is a brand new multiplayer open world survival crafting game where you can befriend and collect mysterious creatures called PAL. In a vast world, make your pals fight, build, farm, and work in factories.
Mm.
So,
Ooh,
I think,
so animal slave labor. Cool.
amen, brother. So essentially, it's it's a game about like you're just living your life, you know. Oh my God, what is this game about? It says here, Power is a game about living a slow life with mysterious creatures, pal, or throwing yourself into life and death battles with poachers. Wow, you can make pals fight, breed, help with farming, or work in factories. You can also sell them off or even slaughter them to eat. That, however, is forbidden by law. This sounds amazing.
Um, yeah, so I mean, the word multiplayer, yeah, kind of like throws me off. So it's not gonna be like, I was really hoping it'd be like like a open world RPG kind of thing.
Well, you don't
Uh,
want to join me and create
I
and
mean, well,
creates
I gotta see
the
more of the
next.
gameplay. I'm actually gonna like watch some more gameplay of it and
All
see
three
like.
of us, we're gonna make factories. We're gonna make them work. Free labor.
Oh Jesus.
I ain't paying anyone.
Um,
The
but
game
yeah,
looks the game looks dope. I actually missed that
no,
trailer during my workout, so that looks awesome.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
reminds me of Balan's Wonderworld.
yeah. So I'm actually
Oh
looking
no.
I'm looking forward to it. Um, one thing that I actually just remembered was that this summer game fest was The Witcher Season 3 trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Um,
mad about that? You should be mad about that. Be mad
well,
about it.
because I was gonna say like Macho, I don't know how you felt about it, but like,
I've been
and
mad.
and and this has like nothing to do with like the whole Henry Cavill situation. This to me, this would even be I would still feel this way even if Henry Cavill was like coming back for like another season or whatever. Um, I felt like nothing watching this trailer. Like this trailer did nothing for me in terms of like excitement. Being just overall being excited, like looking forward to like, dude, like this thing is coming out in like next month. And like this trailer was just like it just felt flat for me. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, man. Flat as a pancake for me. I'm good.
Whoa,
Isn't that
that's a bad
crazy?
pancake. That's a crepe.
I'm probably not gonna watch it. It's something I actually liked season two, to be honest. I think the Henry Cavill thing kind of deflated my excitement for the series overall, but like I'm
Yeah,
excited to see
as much as
Siri
we
do
don't,
her
yeah,
thing. What'd you say?
as much as we don't want to admit it, that deflated a lot, and
Oh
even you
yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean,
I mean, yeah, that's fair, but like again, like I said earlier, just like even if he was promised for another season, like just looking at this trailer like by itself, excluding all the stuff that's happening around it, like just solely looking at this trailer and ignoring all the outside noise, like I just don't think that this was like a really like exciting trailer. Like it just didn't like I even like someone who's like is watching The Witcher for the first time, like can you honestly say that this did anything to entice them to want to watch it? Like it just looked like the most like generic of like fantasy shows, if you know what I mean. And we know that's not The Witcher. That's not The Witcher. And I'm just like, how in the world did you make The Witcher look like a generic fantasy show? You know?
yeah. It's kind of like when they first revealed, and this is coming again from a Lord of the Rings fanboy. When they revealed the first Rings of Power trailer, you're like, that looks bad, right? It looks generic.
Uh,
It's the same situation. Right? When I saw that first trailer, I was like, "Oh, cool, we got like little Simpsons." But even then, I was like, "I need another trailer." That one didn't really do it for me. And I love Lord of the Rings, so I understand the heartbreak for the Witcher, honestly, because you and I both read the books. We played and loved. We all love the game here, but yeah, that trailer didn't really do much. I thought it was cool seeing Siri do her thing and actually using her skills like to fight off the monsters you saw. They had a couple cool snapshots in there. But other than that, I'm like, I just don't care, man. I don't even care. There's two parts. Like, I don't want to speculate. I just don't care anymore. I really don't.
and
It's just how much the first, like the actual source material, when you differ from source material, when you differ from quality, vision, things start to kind of just fall apart. This is why I always try to argue that if Game of Thrones, the tone and the rhythm that they set up was on par with season 8 and 7 from the very beginning, the show would not have gotten the flack that it got. But because the first 4 seasons are some of the best TV in history, the 5 through 8 just kind of fall flat.
Yeah, that's
So
why
like,
that's why people give Rings of Power a lot of flack too, because like even though I loved it, I would rewatch it and I thought it was really fun. But I can see people's criticism, especially for more hardcore book fanatics, that it's not really following lore. There's a lot of production changes that shifted that doesn't make any sense, and the writing is here and there. Like there's a couple of like modern esque lines in the Tolkien universe that doesn't make any sense. So like yeah, it's following the same vein here with Witcher, like you were talking about for Game of Thrones.
it's like reading Berserk and then watching the show. You're like, wow, this is
Is
awful.
is that is that is that much of a difference?
The Berserk, the newest Berserk adaptation, which is in
Oh, okay.
2016, I think, or 2018, 2017, whatever. During those 3 years, it was CG, and a lot of Berserk's
Oh right,
just
on Netflix, right?
highs. It's no, that's the movies. That's the Golden Age, like the movie trilogy. Those are actually not bad.
Oh,
But
okay.
there's like an animated like 16 or 12 episode show that's like fully CG, but there's no charm to it. There's no, the dark tones are not there. The beautiful art that Muta was so known for is not there. So it just kind of loses its luster because it's not like the original piece. So I think that's the same with Witcher. The Witcher, I mean, at this point, not only source material, but like just, I looked at Henry when he came up on screen. I was like, I'm glad you're doing better things, that you deserve better.
I wonder if they're in the
And
same room. To be honest, I don't know if they were.
oh
True.
yeah,
Henry and the rest of the cast.
Anya.
Oh, for that like little interview thing
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who knows? Yeah, it's just sad because like as you know, Macho, we're moving into like um this specific book, like the second half of that book is like really what kicks into like what sort of sets up the events of like what will happen for the rest of the goddamn series, right? The
Mm-hmm.
whole Thanad Island uh um banquet, what happens there is
Probably
like
one of the best parts of the entire series, honestly.
yeah, like I said again, it literally gets the ball rolling for like what's gonna happen for like the rest of like the 4 books of that series or 3 books or whatever. So and it's like it's a really really exciting moment for the entire series, and like it's exciting that we're finally getting to that moment, but then like I don't know, like that trailer just didn't do anything to make me excited for it, you know? So like, yeah, I don't know, man. It was rough, man. Um, and again, man, it's just like because after this season, we'll move into the stuff where we get to meet, Geralt's like gang and his Hansa and stuff like that. And I love those characters so much, and it's just like it kills me moving to the Henry Cavill stuff. It kills me that we won't get to see that version of Geralt interacting with Regis or Milva, like those characters. Like God, it kills me that we won't get that.
Nope, you're gonna get Chris Hemsworth brother for all that.
Oh man, I'm
Hey
nervous, man.
man, who knows? Who knows? Maybe my man bulks up. He gets that chiseled jaw, and he's like, I am Geralt now. And
Oh,
maybe he turns out to be better.
he's gonna do the work. He's gonna do the work, but he's gonna be the epitome of do what you're told. So
I feel bad
Wait,
for him because that's how do you like pick up
yeah,
something like that when your like predecessor is like meant to be that
it's
role.
just
Like
it's
he
just
just
gonna
he's
be it's just gonna be awkward because like at least with when this kind of happens with like Spider-Man or Batman, it's like okay, well we have the advantage of like it's just we're kind of starting from scratch,
hmm
um whereas that's why we can get like a Robert Pattinson or Michael Keaton or Christian Bale, right, to do these different iterations. It's not like goddamn okay, Dark Knight Rises, Christian Bale is out, now we're putting in Robert Pattinson, right? Like hell no.
yeah. You
So
know it
with
happened in
this
the MCU with one of your favorite actors, so
um who
in Iron Man. You remember
no
when they changed Terrence Howard for Don Cheadle?
I really don't care.
bro, they so speaking of that, they did that for one
um
of my favorite actors and characters in the beginning MCU with which is Hulk when they put in Mark
Oh,
Ruffalo
yeah,
instead of
with
Edward
Ed,
Norton.
Ed Norton, right?
Yeah,
but with this is it's just like how do you explain it? Like, will they just do they just ignore it,
they
like in the
won't.
actual,
They won't.
right in the actual show? Like, how, like, literally, Yennefer and Ciri are talking to a different person.
They're gonna
Like,
actually no. They're gonna do the Gamora thing where it's like it's a Geralt from another monster dimension.
They have time traveling. Why not do that? Be like, this is a younger version of Geralt.
No, I don't think they're gonna do all that. That's too much legwork for the writers to do anything. Right now, they're on strike. They don't care.
That's true. You also have that going on. Damn.
well,
Damn, this is gonna be tough.
yeah, we'll see.
I got
And
a
then, and
solution.
then also,
Cancel it.
and then there's also like, so like, everyone is speculating that he left because they're deviating from source material and all that. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are like kind of jumping the shark with that. Like, it could be a possibility, but like I don't know. And then it's like you see things like Dandelion. There's like this report that came out that he's apparently going to be in a relationship with King Radovid, and I'm like, huh? Like something that didn't happen in the books at all, you know.
Yeah, you don't know, man. We didn't
It's a canon
follow.
event.
We didn't follow a dandelion throughout the entire time. You don't know.
I guess
Yeah,
so, but
maybe it's a canon event.
it gets into that situation where it's just like, okay, are you guys just like adding things for the sake of adding things,
Yeah,
or
they're asking like, what does Jaskier do in his spare time when he's not around Geralt? He's fucking Radovid.
and it's
Like,
like
okay.
And it's like it's not a situation where with like The Last of Us with episode 3 where it's like, okay, like we had like a nugget of a story with Bill and Frank in the original game. Let's actually flesh this thing out and make it this whole new thing that adds to those characters. Whereas this, it's just like it just feels like we're adding things for the sake of adding things. Like I don't
Damn.
know how this adds
Is
something.
Witcher getting Game of Thrones?
They already
What do
did
you
beginning of season 2, right? So when they
Damn.
took like one of the characters and yeah,
I mean that whole plot line with Yennefer and like the witch was just like I don't know what they were doing with that. That was something that wasn't in the books, and it was just like it became like literally like almost like the main plot of that season. Like they literally that season it just felt they literally just did their own thing for season 2. You know what I mean?
So like I remember you mentioning one of the biggest gripes you had was a portrayal of one of the Witchers. I forget the name.
Oh yeah, that's
Uh,
cool.
Eskel.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he was
that's
like
what I was referring to. Yeah, 'cause that Esco
he was
storyline
done
was
dirty,
crazy.
right?
So dirty,
You-
so dirty.
It's crazy. I mean,
And
well,
And that
they
sucks,
made-
man.
it's funny because Soul is like way more into the actual mainline story of the books, while I love the shorthand stories. So
Yeah.
that and I got a bunch of those in season 1 and 2. So I'm kind of satisfied, which is why I think I kind of don't care about the rest
Right.
of it because the books themselves are just as good. So
Just you know what I'm gonna do? I'll just go play the PS5 upgrade of Witcher 3, and I'll be satisfied with more Witcher.
yeah,
That's fair. Speaking of TV, we got another television little trailer spot, whatever.
Oscar worthy.
That is Twisted Metal.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, they had a little trailer show up there, and I was I can't even remember what my reaction was. I think I was literally just the Homelander meme, just like staring at the screen. Like what? Like, all right. That was awful, man. Like straight up, that was awful. I and what's funny is that like you hear like Anthony, and I'm all for actors wanting to branch out and try different things, so they're not pigeonholed into like just being known as like the MCU person. But like, what on earth made Anthony Mackie want to sign on to this thing? Was this maybe? Granted, we've only seen like what maybe 4 minutes of footage total, maybe less. So maybe maybe there's something in there that we haven't seen yet that's actually really cool. That was the thing that made him be like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. But so far, I don't understand why he would ever want to be a part of this.
Hey man, I liked it.
Really?
I mean, it's just good. What are you expecting out of Twisted Metal, man? You want like to be? I want my personality to change based off the metal that I'm twisting. Like, no, it's
Well,
just
okay, so
it's just
that's
it's just dumb car fun, right? That's the
well,
whole point of it.
that's the thing. So I'm not familiar with Twisted Metal at all. I'm getting conflicting things from like I saw this one tweet of like someone saying that Sweet Tooth, like for him as a kid when he was playing these games, that Sweet Tooth was always like this really menacing character that he was afraid of as a kid. So like I'm confused. Are you supposed to be afraid of Sweet Tooth, or is Sweet Tooth naturally like this goofy, weird character?
Well, to
Because
be
if he is goofy and weird, then like okay, then the trailer I guess is going for a vibe and it hit that vibe.
well, to be fair,
Yeah,
it's,
I mean-
the person said that they were a kid, and usually kids are afraid of scary ass clowns anyway. So
Sure, but it made me think. I took that to mean as like, no, this character was actually like portrayed and supposed to be scary and terrifying, like in the game, regardless if you were a kid or not.
Mm.
But
Okay.
again, I don't know. I never played those games.
So all I know is that the only Twisted Metal I played was the one on PS3. Uh,
Which is
I
a bad
just
one.
called Twisted Metal. Um, I know that the best story in Twisted Metal is Twisted Metal Black, which I remember watching a video. I think it was, I don't think it was a completionist. It was someone that was like talking about each, because essentially it's this tournament where Calypso is his name. He arranges this tournament to essentially, it's a fight to the death, and whoever wins gets a wish granted, whatever they desire. And Sweet Tooth is one of the competitors. And I think the story for Sweet Tooth has to do something with his wife, where either she passed away or something, and he's like out to like try to revive her or something going on. But the thing with the game and what makes it so unique is that if you beat the game as each character, you get the ending movie with that character getting their wish granted and kind of finding closure or tragedy, depending on how it goes. So I don't know if they want to go that dark and malevolent with a show. They just want to make it more wacky and more like, oh yeah, no, we're a bunch of guys just being weird and killing each other, blah blah boy, Uh, which this seems like more of a wacky tone, more of a like a oh yeah, and it's a dumb fun TV, kind of like Fast and Furious, like comedy levels. I don't mind that the trailer didn't do anything for me. Like I didn't feel anything. I was just like, haha, like this is the what they're going for. But I didn't expect them to be like Calypso, just arranging everyone. Now you're ready to twist some metal, oh some shit like
Well,
that.
my thing is that like the thing that kind of like that is Twisted Metal that makes Twisted Metal what it is the
The
vehicular
violence,
combat. And
yeah.
we've seen two clips now, and I'm just like, why wouldn't you lead with that? You know, um, it's like, God, I'm trying to think like what would be like a good example that it's like Horizon. Like if you showed like a reveal trailer of Horizon, and it's purely just Aloy like talking to characters, and you don't show any of the robot dinosaurs, it's kind of like what are you doing? Like that's the thing that differentiates Horizon from like a Far Cry, right? Or like any other open world
So when
game.
they showed the Last of Us trailer and they did show that bloater at the end coming out from the ground, and you're like, oh my god, that looks amazing, and
Well,
then
that
boom, nothing more.
But that's a little different because, like, I feel like with The Last of Us, like, sure, like the infected, to me, the infected are like the background thing. They're not the thing that makes The Last of Us The Last of Us. The
Mm-hmm.
thing that makes The Last of Us what it is the characters, Joel and Ellie at the core of it, right? So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't find that comparable to like Twisted
But you
Metal,
would
where
want it to look good still, because I think that's kind of like what they're trying to do now. I mean, hopefully, with digital technology. I don't know if they're at the phase right now to. When's this show coming out?
And I think it's coming out in July.
Okay, then they better have this looking well, because I don't know if they're just fearful. One of two things: fearful that it doesn't look up to par, so they're still working on making the cars and the fights look insane, or they're not focusing on that. Because if anything, it's not like it hasn't been done before. Like it is possible, but I don't know if do they have the funds? Do they have like the did they have the time to kind of elaborate something like a Mad Max Fury Road or a Death Race? Because you do have movies that do these things, and I think Mad Max Fury Road is like the best example I can give of like an actual race to the death and like cars bashing into each other and all these things.
Well,
Uh,
sorry, continue.
no, no, that was it.
Well, I think I think it's one of two reasons why I didn't show vehicular combat in this particular clip. One is that the face of Twisted Metal is Sweet Tooth. I think that's like the one question everyone had besides vehicular combat, like
Mm-hmm.
what Sweet Tooth's gonna be like. So they gave you a little glimpse of that. And the other is probably because there's not a lot of vehicular combat in the actual show. There's probably like maybe three big sequences out of like the how many episodes there are, and they're probably not ready to show that off yet because the show's due in July. So maybe they're finishing shots. They weren't confident in showing it, but I think this is more of like this is what Sweet Tooth's gonna be like in the show because he is the face of Twisted Metal. So If they didn't show Sweet Tooth, then people be asking, well, where's Sweet Tooth? We got Figure Combat, it looks cool, but what about Sweet Tooth? We need to know what he's like. So I think it's like damn if you do, damn if you don't kind of thing.
Yeah, Needles
Yeah.
Kane, man.
That's fair,
Needles
that's fair.
Kane.
Yeah. So that's Twisted Metal. We'll see how it goes when it comes out eventually. I guess Macho. Let's get into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the big show closer. We got the confirmation that it is releasing early 2024. They were confident to kind of reiterate that. On 2 discs, obviously. The one point I want to make before I pass the reins over to you is it is coming to PS4.
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh, it's not?
Yeah, that was a mistake. You saw that in Reset Era?
I saw it like pop up on my timeline, but okay, never mind then.
Yeah, that was a mistake. On the actual website, it says just PS5 only.
Okay, all right. So yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, real quickly, the Ever Crisis trailer for Final Fantasy, which is the one mobile game. I kid you not, man. When I was watching this live stream, and he said, "Oh, we have a cool mobile game." I rolled my eyes to the back of my head, dog. I was like, "Jeff, not now! Give me something great!" And it was Final Fantasy, and my mood immediately turned around. But yeah, that looks really cool. It's gonna be playing through the entire Final Fantasy VII compilation games. I think they said from the get-go at launch that the games are going to be playable in this sort of other like remake for mobile is 7 First Soldier, which was that battle royale game that flopped, and I think Crisis Core was the other one. By the way, that's going to be a really cool mobile game, just turn-based, playing as all different characters, different costumes. Looks really cool. You can sign up for right now, which I did. But yeah, Rebirth, man. This was not a surprise like what Walt was alluding to earlier. I mean, it was a surprise as a show closer. I was expecting we were going to see it, but this was just absolutely insane, man. I love how they are giving us the exact feeling that we got from the first Final Fantasy game, the very, very original in 1997. Which was that a lot of people, when they played the Final Fantasy VII for the first time, they think that the big Midgar section, which is like 3 to 4 hours, like that's your game, right? Because there's so much story packed into there. You obviously have the Honeybee Inn, you have the attack on the sectors that the Avalanche group does, and the meeting of all the characters. Then once you actually go out, once you exit out of Midgar, you now have this sprawling, beautiful open world, just orchestrated by this amazing piece of music. And you get to really, it's more or less free flow. You kind of go wherever you want to go, and whatever catches your eye, you get to do that. They did the exact same thing here in this trailer, where Cloud opens the door. Now you just have all of Midgar, and then you have the character dialogues kind of speaking to their events from the previous game, which is interesting because they're kind of expecting something different, but it turns out there's like this beautiful open world to explore on. Ignoring all the story stuff, just kind of since Soul didn't really play it, and we can do that kind of speculation for another time. But the gameplay was what everybody wanted, and probably more. Did you guys check out those dual tech attacks from everybody?
It's all right. Nah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it looks insane.
Bro, the combos with Yuffie and Red 13 where she just jumps on his back and then they dive down. The fact that Aerith is doing like a bubble of magic and then she gives Tifa a power up and she does that anime wind up punch and then boom, and it's like, oh, it's so cool, dude.
Yeah?
It's so amazing. And then Cloud just going absolutely ham on like these two little creatures, and he's like it's so cool, man. I fucking love this trailer. And then we got a little sneak peek of Elena too, who's another Turks member who's super annoying and bumbly, but yeah, she's gonna pack a punch. So I'm really, really excited because they really emphasized from previous tweets and even in this trailer this thing was gonna be big and massive. And it's just gonna be a lot like the original game, where you're gonna go into the open world and whatever catches your eyes, you're gonna do that. You're gonna ride some chocobos. You're gonna go to different sections of the map and check out the story points there. And obviously you have this really defining, guiding story point that you can follow, because obviously there's a lot of mystery around What Tifa's asking, right? If like Cloud wasn't there and Nibelheim 5 years ago, this, that, and the other. And then obviously you have Sephiroth in the ringer as well. So it's super cool, man. I think this trailer was amazing. It's honestly settled me over all the way until like when this game actually releases next year. Like I probably don't need to watch anything else other than what I saw in this trailer. Like I'm good to go. So yeah, it was amazing. But what did you guys think about it?
I want to hear, you know what I think about it. I want to hear Solo talk about this.
Yeah, I thought it looked really, really cool. I gotta make I gotta make a declaration here before all of you,
Uh-oh.
and before the people who are watching the podcast. Um, I before all of you here today, I promise that I will have Final Fantasy VII Remake finished before Rebirth.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
sir.
Wow.
On June 10th,
Whoa.
12:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Soul has declared that he will finish Final Fantasy VII Remake for the first time. Yes, sir.
Wait. So.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I thought it looked really, really cool. I actually really, I thought like in terms of like an immediate grabber, I thought it was really, really effective how they opened with like showing the goddamn characters being taken away on screen.
Yes!
I was
Yes!
like, hey, yo, what's going on?
Yes! My heart dropped when we saw Tifa's arm just flop.
Yeah, I thought that was a really, really good opener. And yeah, I don't know. It was just really, really cool to see, man. And I'm happy for all the Final Fantasy VII fans. Cause yeah, it's just nice to get like reconfirmation because it's kind of been quiet for a while. Um, so to kind of get like the confirmation that like, hey, this is still on track for a little bit past winter. I mean, obviously it depends. Like if this thing is releasing in February, then yeah, it still would be that February 2023 window, or yeah, the winter 2023 window that they gave. Um, but if it's still kind of like in that general area. So regardless, it's pretty cool to see that is Square getting better with this at least with Final Fantasy side where like hey like they were kind of quiet with Final Fantasy 16's release date and then they said 2023 and then they nailed it down to or they narrowed it to summer 2023 and then they were like okay we got an exact release date of like June 26th or whatever 2023 and now with 7 Rebirth it's like hey winter 2023 now early 2024 and we'll see if they'll be able to narrow that down further but hey at least with these two Final Fantasy games it seems like they've been a lot better with that it's not a 15 situation right where I feel like that game regardless of like the 13 versus stuff like even when it made the transition to 15 I remember that game being pushed back constantly so yeah it feels like they're getting a little bit better with that.
Yeah, that's an astute observation because it's been Square Enix fans have been the bane of many jokes, as usual, for years during that era because of that, just the constant waiting. But thankfully, Yoshi P has turned the tides on this one because he got the mindset of Square Enix so far. From what we've seen, is that having showing the game when it's ready, kind of thing. And that's what Yoshi's been really good about. So I'm glad they're doing the same thing with 7 Remake here. It just shows that when Square Enix is like on all cylinders here, they know how to deliver, which is why like I'm really excited. And no matter what, I'm having high expectations for the 7 Remake trilogy. Because after the first one, I was like, all right, yeah, they're back. Now you just gotta keep the tide flowing. So yeah, thankfully it's all good. But well, I haven't heard what you thought about it, and we haven't talked all week. So what did you think of the trailer?
That trailer reminds me why I like games. Because that's like when you watch a trailer and you truly have that just feeling of I want to be there. I want to play this. I want to like just already dive into it. Like I'm such a fan of the open world that Final Fantasy 15 introduced, but then the combat I'm more aligned with Final Fantasy 7 remakes, and this looks like it's combining the best of the two, and it's bigger, It's better. The story. There's moments. There's one moment in particular where I remember from the original one because I didn't beat it, but I got far enough to where there's a moment in this trailer that shows someone going up the stairs towards Sephiroth. Uh, I was like, oh wait, I know this. Oh my God, what's going on? Why are things different but the same? That's the biggest thing this trailer showed. Things are the same but different, and some things are different but they're kind of like the same events. I'm excited. I cannot wait. Everyone looks beautiful. There's more combat. I love seeing Yuffie actually with them, with the crew. I love seeing everyone just the dual attack. Listen, man, there's something about dual attacks and like just I'm glad that P5 did it. I'm glad that this one's doing it. It looks so epic. I had the same reaction, Macho, when I saw that big bubble and I saw Tifa just go to like the ceiling of it and she was just standing on air about to kick into high gear down. I was like, what is going on?
It's so high.
This is some anime. This is an anime. Uh, I'm excited, man. Man, what a beautiful ass game. I can't wait to absolutely neglect every responsibility I have
Yes,
in order
sir.
to play this game.
Yes, sir. It's one hell of a trailer, man. Just the everything from the music, the da na 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 da and then you get like the backgrounds of Juno. You even see a little bit of the of Sid's Highwind airship too in that shot. Man, oh man, I can't wait for this game, dog. It's gonna be so damn cool. Like me and Walt talked about it before, so that Final Fantasy 16 is absolutely my dream game because it's a mix of Final Fantasy story and kind of elements mixed with like the crazy combat and boss fights from Kingdom Hearts 2. But Final Fantasy 7 is like the another dream coming true of one of my favorite games of all time, realized in modern full on HD with like all the crazy combat from avid children and even more on top of that. Like, oh man, I can't wait to see all the synergies you can do with Red 13 and Tifa and certain combos. Like if you just go with Red 13 to that wheel attack that he does in the trailer, do that. Maybe that's like an off the ground move where you can switch over to Tifa and then do some more body shots and lift him up in the air and then keep him up in the air with Barry. Like, oh my god, like the I can't wait for this game. Like the amount of combos you can do and then the dual teching. Oh my god, it's gonna be so cool, man. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Can't wait for all the impalings of swords that there's gonna be in from here and on. 'Cause there's a lot of them.
It's gonna be crazy. I don't know how much is going to cover from the original game, but
I love the memes that people are making already of that one scene, but it's reversed. You know the scene?
yeah. I know what you're talking about, but yeah, I mean that one
Yeah.
scene with Tifa is that one's gonna be interesting because
Also,
The one up the stairs.
yeah.
did you notice that one moment where like I think it's like the clone clouds, right? When they're like moving through with like those archer things or whatever, right? They're clones, right?
More or less, yeah.
Okay. And when he says like reunion, I'm guessing that's a nod to the potential what the third game is gonna be called, right? Because like that's what people are speculating that it's gonna be called reunion.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like once you play Final Fantasy VII Remake, you'll understand more of that. Because Final Fantasy VII Remake is not just a remake. It's a lot more than that. So that was a little clip of some speculation was going on. People are assuming it's Cloud. I think it could be someone else as well. Not just Cloud. But yeah, it'll be really cool to see what they do with that.
But if anything, much I think it really much fits how Final Fantasy remake is a remake, but then towards the end, it seamlessly goes into the second one, which is truly a rebirth. It's a reimagine, reboot, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know, maybe the next one, the third one is It's just called that. Just You just
Why?
have like the Scooby Gang like show up and
Oh my
everything because
god,
there's
I
like a
hate
multiverse.
you.
Um, let's so yeah, man.
It's canon.
Very very exciting. That they
Yes,
closed out.
sir.
Yeah,
We'll
that
figure out what's a canon event.
was a great show closer for Jeff, and big ups to him for getting that on his stage, man, for sure. Um, so yeah, overall, I thought it was, I think it was better than like the previous Summer Games Fest that we've had, for sure.
100%. Yeah.
But still, like for me, it's like a 6 out of 10. It was all right. Um, let's move on to our Xbox over under. And then Walt, we'll get to Persona 3. I promise. I promise.
Woo!
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, Xbox is having their big games showcase tomorrow. Guys, I think it's gonna be a really, really good show. Um,
Yes, I think it's gonna be the best one out of all three.
oh,
Yeah.
without question,
Yeah,
without
I mean,
question.
I
I
did you
mean,
guys see it was his name Andy Robertson's tweet? I think his name, the reporter from
And he's
VGC.
coming.
what you say?
He said that the Xbox showcase is going to be fabulous. As
Oh,
in,
yeah,
Woo!
so
yeah.
I'm excited.
And then what's his name? Tom Henderson just put out a tweet that like both Fable and Avowed are like reported to be there, which is not too. That's the thing, man. Is that like, and this is kind of like
Wait,
what I was.
Avowed 2?
No. Yeah, Avowed and Fable.
Ooh,
Well,
okay.
Finally, goddamn.
that's the thing that I was saying in when we were talking about the PlayStation Showcase with Brap is that the Xbox announced all these first party games back in 2020/2019, right? So Hellblade was announced in 2019. Avowed, Fable, State of Decay 3, Perfect Dark, um, Forza, no, not I think Forza Motorsport as well, maybe. But yeah, like all those games that I just listed were all announced in 2020, right? And then it was just dark for the next 3 years, right? Almost 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, of course, now, like finally, they have to start like talking about these games and showing gameplay. So like, of course, this showcase, just by virtue of them announcing all those games so early, this is gonna be stacked with like gameplay for all those games that they announced like 3 years in advance, right?
On top of
Uh,
any surprise that they have.
but now, like on top of Bethesda now, because they own Bethesda, right? So it's like you take into account all those games that Bethesda has probably in the oven. Um, like who knows what Machine Games is working on, or who's the Doom developers? Id, yeah, maybe Id is working on something new that they're ready to show off, right? So it's just like, I
Hmm.
mean, that's the thing of them having so many first party studios now is that like they really, it just feels like there's going to be a lot there. Um, so with that being said, yeah, let's get to some of these questions. Um, only have a few, not as many as the previous ones. Um, first off, uh, one brand new controller will get shown off. Over one or under one. And really quickly to give you guys some time to think about it. To anyone who's watching who doesn't know how this over under game works, I mean it's pretty self-explanatory, but just in case, um, I will ask the panel a question, and they will say whether they think it'll be over the number that I give them or under the number that I give them, and we record our answers, and then we check in the next podcast to see how we all did. So yeah, that's basically the name of the game. So yeah, what do you guys think about possibility of a new controller being shown off? Especially
You're,
especially given the context that they just had a brand new console and controller shown off at Summer Games Fest, if you remember.
I know you're being messy with this one, but I'm gonna say under.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
gonna say I'm gonna say over because sometimes we'll get that moment where like you have like the host talking with one of the developers and then they're like, "Oh no, yeah, we have like awareness for this, awareness for this charity or this and we're gonna get like a couple of controllers." So
You
whether
know
it's
what? I so what did you say? You said under?
over.
I'm gonna say under purely because I think oh actually
So none. You're saying none.
well, here's the thing. See, now I'm kind of going back and forth because what if they do like that whole design labs thing and they show off like a
That's what I'm thinking
trailer?
about. That's
Yeah,
exactly
and
what I'm thinking
then
about.
there's gonna
Yeah.
be like goddamn 10 controllers on the screen.
Yep.
Damn, dude. Okay, well,
Say this, over or under two, because like one, come on, there's no way there's not gonna be one. There has to be at least one.
okay, so I'm just gonna be devil's advocate just to do something different. I definitely think that there's gonna be over.
For sure.
However, However, what I originally was thinking was that it's gonna be exactly one because Forza is coming out in October, so they're gonna be like, hey, here's the release date for Forza, and here's a brand new console controller to coincide with the release of that game. So I think it's just gonna be one, therefore under, because just the way that the game works. So I'm gonna say under, um, with the knowledge that it's more than likely gonna be over. So yeah, so put me down as under.
All right,
You
yeah.
got it.
I mean, I'm kind of the same boat as you, so I think it's under as well. Just because
Nah.
I think for this, it's a 2 hour showcase though.
Yeah, 2 hours. You have enough time to bullshit and be like, oh, by the way, we need a collaboration with Kentucky Fried Chicken, and now we have the Colonel Sanders controller.
Well, the thing is, I think they're really, I think it's gonna be their best showcase in years. I truly believe that.
Whoa.
So I think that they're gonna come out flying, and then whatever comes from certain presentations is gonna be check out our blog post or check out the Starfield showcase afterwards later this week, blah blah blah. And that's when they have the control. Like they'll show the control like in a trailer or something like that. But I think it's the most we're gonna see is one, and that's not even from Forza. I think it's gonna be from Starfield. So that's my thought process on it. But you do have a what you said?
Oh, what? Oh, I was just gonna say that Starfield has their own thing after the show.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but have a bomb ass Starfield trailer and then show the control at the end. That's kind of like their MO, really. Um, but I do agree with Walt that they might have another Labs trailer and then he automatically wins. So
And then you're gonna have, I don't know, you're gonna have Paris be like, oh, and here's my brand new one that I designed myself. Oh wow.
I know he has a
Very
he's
cool.
pretty bomb controller with the
He has a
cock
great-
can't cook though. That was hilarious.
Bro, hilarious.
Yeah,
I love that. And
that was really good.
I love that so much. I love that recurring theme, recurring joke.
I
no,
kind of
definitely gonna
want to
be
do the
more.
same thing. I'm gonna make a cousin controller and say like Walt is a dumbass or something. That'll be pretty funny.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so that is that's the first question. Next, this one's
I
for
love
Walt,
you, buddy.
man.
Me?
Yeah, this one's just for you, man.
Yeah, I love you, Walt.
One Yakuza game will appear at the showcase. Over one or under one?
Oh my god. You actually stumped me. Because it's the fucking way you're phrasing it. If it's under one, that means that there's not gonna be
Right.
over. But that's the thing. I feel like, man, you're making this hard to win. Over. I'm gonna say over. I feel like my odds are better that way. Because honestly, they can very much say like, oh, Gaiden, Man Who Resisted is gonna be on Game Pass. When that counts, and we might get a glimpse at whatchamacallit, might hopefully
Well,
we
8,
get a
right?
glimpse at 8, yeah, which is the one that they already have a trailer, a teaser for, where they show Kasuga and Kiryu. So
Let me
yeah,
let
I'm
me
gonna say over.
let me rephrase the question to this. One RGG game will be there. So over one RGG game or under?
Over
that
for
opens-
sure. But here's the thing. Okay, so listen to this. RGG has a summit. I think it's the 15th. So
Okay.
like, would they talk about the games now and then elaborate on the summit, or would they wait till the summit? That's what I'm thinking.
I mean that's the eternal question, right? I mean,
Over.
Assassin's
I'm gonna
Creed
say
just
over.
did that. They just did that with Mirage. They had a trailer at the PlayStation Showcase, and then they're going to talk about it again at their Ubisoft Forward thing or whatever, right?
It's gonna be over.
We see that a lot.
It's gonna be like Dragon's Dogma last year, where was it Dragon's Dogma? I think it was Dragon's Dogma where they made an announcement, and then they talked about it in a little conference they had like the next day or 2 days after. So I'm gonna say over two. Oh, over one. What about you, Macho?
Yeah, I'm gonna say over as well.
Okay.
I think they're gonna have a nice surprise announcement of a Yakuza Tactics game.
Stop. We already have turn-based. What do you mean?
Yeah, but
Now I'm like, that would be cool.
yeah, but you don't have tactics though.
Yeah, you're right. Every
What if
game
it's like
needs
what if
tactics.
it's like a side story for another character or something?
You know what I'm being honest. Like, I hope they bring back the zombie game. I don't know why they never just they left it in the past.
That would be pretty dope.
Yakuza Dead Souls or whatever it was
Yeah.
called, or like Oh man,
That would be cool.
that'd be cool. Yeah. Even if it's they're like, oh, we're bringing Yakuza Dead Souls to Game Pass, that counts because it's a Yakuza game. So,
Yeah, it's an
all right,
RPG
GG.
game. What do you say?
All
So,
right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think
So,
it's gonna be over as well.
okay,
all right.
I got
Watch
Uh,
none. Beer.
yeah, I mean, I don't- all right. So next, let's see. All right. 5 minutes of Fable gameplay will be shown off. Over 5 minutes or under 5 minutes?
Oh,
I just got a headache from that one.
I I think it's gonna be over. I feel like we need like it's gonna be this thing where like there's gonna be like a chunky bit of gameplay, but then also oh wait. I did say specifically gameplay. So like it wouldn't count if like there's developers up there just talking. So it has to be like it's okay if like they're on screen talking and there's gameplay playing in the background. Um but yeah, so like see I don't know. Okay.
Can it be like the okay? Imagine like they're like, all right, and now right now you're seeing Toruk Makto, and he is in the city of Lightfoot, and as you can see, we've improved the
Yeah.
visuals
So
and what and like that they
so
show.
to make this easier, when the showcase is done and they
Mhm.
upload whatever they showed off of Fable from the showcase, if that video is, over 5 minutes or under 5 minutes, then that's how we'll know.
I think
Whatever.
Fable is gonna be their Spider-Man, where they're gonna show a whole thing, because not only did they say Fable is or whatever Macho, but they did like a little uh promo for the showcase, and it had Fable music in the background. It had all these things. Like I think they're trying to like really let like this is a Fable. Fable's gonna be here. So I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna say over 5.
What about you, Macho?
I think it's gonna be under. Um, you don't need to show much to get people pleased to see this game. You could literally have a Rebirth trailer that's 2 to 3 minutes long, and people be happy about that. As long as they slap it like a release window, like 2024 or late 20, whatever it is. I think they show like a good like not even a cinematic trailer, not even a story trailer. I mean, more kind of like an overview trailer, what it's gonna look like, what it's gonna play like. Have a few snips of gameplay in there, but it's not gonna be more than 2 to 3 minutes. Not even
Like
just a
Hogwarts
gameplay, just a
Legacy, where
trailer.
they had that. But that's the thing. Now I think about Hogwarts Legacy and how they had a whole like 10 to 15 minutes of like these are all the things that are going to be featured in the game.
But that was afterwards,
Um,
wasn't it? I mean, they just showed the
I mean, I don't
trailer.
know.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll
I think they
go
just showed like
and do that.
just the announcement trailer itself for Hogwarts Legacy was enough hype behind it. So
Right.
they gave us like a little cinematic last time, but I think they give you like a nice little overview trailer here. People be happy with just that, and didn't have a
Yeah,
release window. That's it.
I'm kind of overestimating just how short these gameplay videos can be. Like the Rebirth one, yeah, like you're right. It's like it feels longer, but it's like and not longer in the bad way, but it's like, oh my god, it just happened. It's like 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I changed my answer. I'm gonna say under because honestly, now I'm double guessing. I'm myself. I'm
Because
gonna say under for
just
this
keep
one.
in mind the headliner here is Starfield. You
But
know.
again,
But Starfield has its own
yeah, it's
thing
not gonna
going
be
on.
here.
Yeah, but that's why I think
Is that
that this thing's gonna be 2 hours long. So that's why I think that Starfield's gonna have the biggest showcase, like as far as the gameplay, and then that showcase that have four Starfields gonna be more in depth about that gameplay, more about the
talking about the
systems, the
mechanics?
collector's
Yeah,
edition, like all that kind of
2,000 planets.
yeah, yeah, all that stuff. Meanwhile, this showcase is gonna be Game Pass. Show off the first party stuff, and then have like make those like 3 to 5 minute trailers or something. Get people excited for what's coming, but know that Starfield is locked for September. So
Yeah, but and what I'm going over is I actually think Fable is gonna be the headline. I feel like that's
Headliner.
the one that
mm,
people want to know like the most about almost. So
okay,
People don't
I
know
feel
what
like
they want.
they need to go in depth with that one specifically because like it is essentially a reboot of the entire franchise. So yeah, people need to know like okay, like we've heard about this game for a really really long time. You guys have not shown really anything at all besides the CGI trailer. What is this game? What is this going to look like in motion? So I feel like you need to go up there and kind of explain it to people. So that's why I think it's gonna be over 5 minutes for sure.
All right,
Okay, I
sounds
got
good.
you locked down. You're good.
Okay. Senua from Hellblade 2 will use two weapons in the gameplay demonstration trailer, whatever that they're going to show off at the showcase. So over two weapons, we'll see her using over two weapons or under two weapons.
Specifically weapons.
Yeah.
Does magic count as a weapon?
Yes.
Okay. Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
uh,
gonna say over. Yeah, I'll just say over.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, man, I'm gonna say over because I thought you said weapons in general. You didn't say new weapons because she can very much
Well,
use the same
well, that would count.
sword or.
Yeah, if we see her just using her sword, that counts.
Okay,
Doesn't
then yeah,
matter.
I'm gonna say over because we're gonna get the traditional her combat, but then it's gonna be like, oh, but now she can make people turn into bagels or some shit.
Okay. I'm gonna say under.
All right.
Yeah, I think we'll just see her using the sword, and that's it.
Yeah, all I want is just more of that because that trailer with on the beach, that was pretty hype. That whole gameplay section was pretty the atmosphere and the ambiance that game succeeds on achieving is just so good. So good.
Um, let's see. One classic Xbox franchise from the OG Xbox era will come back. Over one or under one classic Xbox game will come back. And I'm gonna say this does not include Fable because we already know about that. Um, uh, Games like that we already know. It has to be like a brand new announcement of something that's like returning. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say over one because I think we'll see the new Jet Set Radio uh here, and then we'll see some other classic franchise make a return. I don't know what it would be, but
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
I hope not. But yeah, something like that.
Because of my, I mean, I don't have much knowledge with like the OGs of Xbox. I'm gonna say just none, so under. Macho.
Mm, Jet Set Radio is a good one, but I don't know if that one's gonna come back. Yeah, I'm gonna say under as well. Yeah, cause yeah,
Mind you,
yeah.
if there's over one and there's only Jet Set Radio, then at least you were more right than us. So
Okay, last one. Uh, there will be 8 Xbox Game Studios games shown off. I I'm gonna say over.
over 8,
Yeah.
that's a lot of games.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna say over 8 as well because in the past, Xbox, if there's anything Xbox does that PlayStation doesn't, is that when they announce games. Whether they're out or not, or they take a million years to come out, they announce games. They're all about those announcements. And I remember, like it was yesterday, one of the showcases they did, there was this whole spreadsheet or this whole like poster or image of all the games that they had announced and which ones were like Xbox, like studios and whatnot. So I'm gonna say over as well.
Yeah,
We got
same
two
here.
hours.
Same here.
We have enough time.
Yeah, I'm gonna say over as well. Um, they have the gun loaded, as Soul would say. So time to fire
Whoa.
off.
Man, what is it with these loaded questions? Am I right?
uh,
And and like I think honestly I think 8 might be too low because
I thought the same thing.
like just thinking about
do you
like
want to change
we
the
know that
question?
no, we can it's fine, we can leave it.
Okay.
Because like
Because mind you, if you say 15, I'm gonna say under because I don't think it's gonna
right,
be
right,
more than 15.
of course. But like just thinking about like we know they're gonna talk about Minecraft. We know they're gonna talk about goddamn Sea of Thieves, right? They're going to talk about Grounded, right? That's 3 right there. Not even, counting Avowed, Fable, Perfect Dark, Hellblade, right? So like already that number, that's like what? That's like 7 right there. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a ton.
All right. Sounds good, boy. You got those locked down, Macho?
Yeah, I got them right now. Yeah, we are good to go.
All right, cool. All right. Going back to really quickly, going back to the Summer Games Festival one. So first one, the Kojima will be on screen for 45 seconds. That didn't happen.
It did not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Goddamn right.
I was the only one who said under. 3 celebrities will appear on stage. We only had Nick Cage, right?
We had
On
Nick
stage?
Cage. Yeah, on
Is,
stage. Yeah,
isn't Ed Boon a celebrity, kind of?
I would.
Uh,
I would
okay.
consider him. Everyone knows who Ed Boon is.
All right, so that's 2 right there. Walt, congratulations, you won that one.
Thank you, thank you.
Uh, Summer Games Fest will show off 1 superhero game. We all said over. It was just Spider-Man. Well, Marvel Snap was technically there, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's
That's
centric
2
ass.
superhero games.
Centric ass PR, dude. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we all got that one. Let's see. Cloud Strife will be on screen for 30 seconds. We all got that one.
Motherfucker was there for like 3 minutes.
That's right, because you got 2 trailers, motherfucker. Yeah, Ever
Yeah,
Crisis.
he was there multiple times.
Yes, sir.
True, true, true.
Man. Yeah.
So this one's funny. This is also what I was kind of afraid of was 2 Final Fantasy games will be at Summer Games Fest. I should have said just 1. But there was exactly 2. So everyone but Walt was wrong.
Yeah.
As usual.
Oh wow. I spoke way too soon, and then he said something right afterwards, confirming his comment. So let me just think.
What's the other one?
Oh man.
The other one is Mickey Mouse will be on screen for 30 seconds.
So you and I got that one wrong.
Yeah, we did. Summer Games
Motherfuckers thinking
Festival-
Epic Mickey would make a resurgence.
Hey man, it was a shot in the dark. Okay. 1 PlayStation Studios game will be there. We all thought over. God, why did I say over for that one? Jeez.
Besides Persona is the one that got
Yeah,
that right. Yeah.
Persona. And of course we only got Spider-Man.
Damn, if it was just a PlayStation like backed game, we would have got that one because Honkai Star Rails was revealed to have like the PlayStation date there.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
And the last one is there will be 4 fatalities shown in the MK1 trailer. I
I
think
got
we
that
just
one wrong.
say- Yeah, I think we just say
Everyone was right but Walt, as usual.
yeah.
As usual.
Okay. So
My man was holding on to that one. He
I was.
like, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
I was churning the milk on that one. I was waiting for it.
My man didn't even wait for good timing. He just said, "Everyone was wrong."
oh,
Listen, man, I'm glad they showed as many as they did. I think a lot of them were like classic Mortal Kombat, like the first Mortal Kombat fatalities, but better. Pretty cool shit. Pretty cool stuff, and I love it. I love it. It's so not delicious. No, that's the wrong word. It looks so good.
so our final topic of the show is Persona 3 Reload. And I guess the Persona 5 Tactical. I guess we could talk about that.
My
But
man's
yeah,
like, all right.
but yeah, Persona 3 Reload, the remake to Persona 3, got leaked by Atlas, and
Quote unquote leaked.
Yeah. We'll obviously see the full thing, or we'll see it at the Xbox showcase. Um, they'll do that thing where they only say it's Xbox and they won't reveal the other platforms until like a day later. They did that with P3, 4, and 5 when it was coming to Game Pass. Um, so which I really don't like because at least with like PlayStation, it's like yes, in the showcase they'll say it's only it's coming to PlayStation, right? But then like after the show, then you know what platforms it's coming out on. Right? Like the Metal Gear Solid. It's like as soon as the show was over, we knew it was coming to everything else. Same thing with like Marathon. Um, but then which is like the Persona thing, how that was handled last year, it was like we didn't know until like a day later. So it was just like a full day of everyone just being like, what's going on here, right? Is this coming to other platforms or not? So like I really don't like that tactic, but whatever.
You like
Um
that tactic?
yeah, shut up. Yeah, Persona 3 Reload. I think it looks gorgeous, man. Walt, what did you think about it? Just like again, that sort of doubling down on the way that Persona 5 handled its UI and stuff like that. Um, there's some little UI things like quirks that didn't really carry over from the original P3 game that I would have liked to see in this. But regardless, man, I'm really liking how this is looking so far.
I like that it's a remake that lets you know, hey, what Persona 5 did worked, so we're kind of like trying to translate that into 3 because the walking around, the pause menu. I don't know if you noticed, but when you pause, it doesn't just, as opposed to Joker just kind of like splashing into the front screen. It's just the protagonist like drips down and like water fills the screen, and there's just that animation transition between moments that it really gives like its own unique identity. It looks beautiful. The only, I mean, obviously, I'm not expecting the same flashiness as P5. So like when the battles are happening, it's a bit more toned down. It's a bit more, uh, I want to say boring, but just like less impressive. But man, the models, the world, because I think in the original P3 you can't really walk around. It's like a visual novel. Like it's a point and click game almost. Um, this looks amazing. I wonder if they're doing only one protagonist or if they're doing both. Um, they haven't talked about it. I don't. I mean, at least I haven't seen anything about having or not having the female protagonist as well.
Yeah, I don't think they are. Um,
That's sad. I
yeah,
mean,
but
regardless, man.
That
because
would
it also
be
looks like
super disappointing.
because it also looks like they're just remaking the original game. They're not remaking
Right, not portable.
FPS or
Yeah,
portable,
FES rather. Yeah,
which
it's
is
the
which
OG
is
OG
disappointing.
P3.
Then
Yeah,
what? Then
It's
what?
just,
Then what's the point then? They
it's the
already had the
original one.
remasters on modern consoles.
I think they were already probably working on the 3 remake, and I mean, there's only so much. I don't know. I feel like they want to remake like the original experience. Uh, I never got to play the one with the female Prozac. Um, I played a little bit. I think it was a portable, and the biggest gripes I have with P3 in general are the way that Tartarus kind of function, where you don't have control over your allies in one game, but in the other one you do. Uh, there's no real it's punishing. It's more of an SMT game than it is a Persona game at times.
yeah, they
Um,
got to fix Tidros for sure.
they really need to fix Tartarus because it's such an interesting. I'd say it's one of the more unique uh approaches at the metaverse. Um, so I hope they figure that out. But it looks
The
beautiful.
cool the actual cool version of the metaverse, you know.
Right. Yes, I would say it's like the cool, more quote unquote edgy version of the metaverse. Because I mean, in Persona 3, mind
No,
you,
no, no,
he's the
saying
protagonist.
not the metaverse that Facebook is trying to do and all that, you know.
No, 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 stupid.
Did Walt just
Um,
make that joke or Soul? What?
it's Soul. It was Soul.
Wow. Wow.
Hey man, you learn from the
You
greats,
are
and I'm here.
not allowed to go to a Jeff Keighley show ever again, bro.
Oh man.
ever.
No
'Cause
more movie for you, Mister.
that Nick
Yeah, I'm
Cage,
so
not even charisma, Nick Cage cringe rubbed off on you, buddy.
man, I'm not allowed to go to another Jeff Keighley show. I'm so heartbroken, man.
No more popcorn. No more potential Gran Turismo tickets.
Oh damn, dude.
No man, this looks beautiful. It looks amazing. I cannot believe this is real. Like truly, I'm gonna to finally be able to actually play the game through the entire way, and not feel like I am losing my mind. So I'm excited, man. Now we officially have the Holy Trinity. We have P3, 4, and 5, all in their best versions, I assume. You know, it not counting for contents, because I know Portable and FES have more than the original P3, but at least we finally have them all like pretty similar to each other in terms of gameplay. So all we need to do now is go back to 1 and 2, baby. Bring me those stories, baby. Uh, this looks great. And I think it got listed for the Switch version because it's coming to
Yeah,
Switch as well.
yeah.
Um, Amen. Props to all the consoles. We are all gamers. But hey, let's hear about why Macho is disappointed at why there's no female protagonist. Macho, take it away.
I, I mean, I don't know, man.
Jeez.
What?
Look
Did
at
you like that segue?
Just look at the DMs I sent
This is gonna be this is gonna be nothing to people who are listening to the podcast because they can't see.
So,
Yeah, give those
so,
people some context there.
so Macho, we have a group chat of us three, and Macho says Persona 3 remake announced. Walt, and the picture is of Ben Patrick gets hit in the face with snowballs, and it goes through his mouth, and it looks like he has something in
Oh
his
don't use any profanity. But,
No, it looks like he has something in his mouth, like protruding from the back.
yeah.
Shut.
Anyway.
Okay, talk about how you're a hater then. Why are you hating, huh? Huh?
Anyway, Walt, do you think? Let me ask you this. Do you think that this is gonna be like a royal situation where they add like brand new content, or is it just gonna be a straight up just one-to-one kind of remake?
I feel like if they do add new content, they would have to kind of seamlessly integrate whatever FES/port offered, unless they go a different route and they offer new things that we have never seen on a Persona 3. Uh, because I think the fact that the reload is there, Persona, it doesn't just say, because you have Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5 Royal, now you have Persona 3 Reload. Uh, so I feel like you would need to kind of also add some things, because you have to take advantage of the fact that you can walk around the world, you can talk with people more seamlessly. Hopefully there's more interactions, more people to make bonds with. Um, I feel like, yeah, that would be kind of like the natural course of things. But listen, Atlas is one of the weirder ones when they make decisions, so I'm not hoping, honestly. I'm expecting them to just do P3 OG and that's it, but looking better and playing better. What about you?
Um, I mean, yeah, obviously we should expect that there will be lots of like quality of life improvements and things like that.
Hmm.
Um, but I I don't know. I'm not expecting there to be like a brand new confidant or a character who like joins your party, something like
Hmm.
that. I'm not expecting those things.
People barely know the main cast, because I feel like people are more nowadays, this generation at least, are more familiar with P4 Golden because they got to play
Oh,
on Game Pass and
for
all these
sure.
things than they do with P3. So they're gonna meet this cast of characters, which arguably I think, from what I know, I think they're on the more baggage heavy characters. Because Persona 4 Golden is more of like people have drama, people have things going on. Persona 5 is more of like the city and like big dreams and kind of going against the system. Persona 3 is just, oh, tragedy.
Yeah,
Just everyone has tragedy. So I'm excited. When I saw Aegis or Aegis, whatever, uh, in her in her 3D glory. I was like, oh my god, they're doing it.
Yeah,
They're
and
doing it.
she's my favorite Persona character, so I'm really excited to.
Oh man, you're into
Yeah.
robots, huh?
Which is funny that you say that because my favorite anime of all time is Ghost in the Shell,
Holy
which
shit, he
is
didn't
My
deny
boy,
it.
I
yes
like it.
sir.
Holy shit, he didn't deny it
Maybe I
though.
am. Maybe I am.
Bro, Kusanagi is built
Maybe
different.
I am.
Bro,
Um,
Hey man, we don't
the
judge. It's
the
okay.
what's that?
We don't judge. It's okay.
Yeah, you furry, you scaly,
all
because you like
right,
fish.
all right, all right.
I was like, where he's going with this?
Uh,
Yeah, because Little Mermaid.
Oh my
but
god.
yeah, I think me and Walt are very excited for Persona 3 Reload. Oh, that's coming out in 2024.
I don't really know what to make of this though, because you guys are talking about it, and it makes me less excited that they're not including like all the stuff from before, like FES and stuff like that. Like I guess a dual protagonist, maybe not, but um, I don't know. I expect like the other stuff to be in there at least. You know, if they're making this like the definitive Persona 3 experience, and like if they're not, then what's the point?
That's
But I think
fair.
if anything, they will be doing the approach of turn-based being truly turn-based, and you control every character. Or
Yeah,
they give you the option.
yeah.
Because hey, what's a game without options?
It honestly looks like, from watching the trailer, it was a little weird because it looked like obviously it's Persona 3, but it had the Persona 5 skin of walking around and going to
Yes,
the
Yeah,
environments, but the
which I want.
gameplay layout of Persona 4.
Persona 4. Yeah, they learn from their best entries because Persona 4 and 5 are arguably their most successful entries. So
Yeah.
why would they not just say like, hey, 5 and 4 had a baby, it would be 3, a very very traumatized baby.
Yeah, I agree with you
Um,
guys. As far as fixing TARDIS, they gotta do that. That made me drop the game like after hour 5 for the original.
well, we'll see because granted we've only seen a short little trailer. We'll see when more information comes out and Atlas starts talking about it more. If for instance, if they added in that whole epilogue section from FES, if that's in this as well, or if it's not, um, yeah, we'll see what they're doing. But
I hope so.
regardless, like very surface level, I'm just excited that this thing exists. I never played Persona 3. I've only like experienced that story through the movies. That's my familiarity with Persona 3. So just and I don't want to play the remastered version or whatever the version
You
that
don't
just
want
came out.
to. You don't want
Yeah,
to.
I don't. Yeah, I don't want to.
Even Flame dropped it because it wasn't bad, but like it was just really hard to play through.
But trust me, I've seen those Tyros sections, and yeah, I don't want to play that.
Hmm.
But yeah, just having like a more modernized version that I'll be able to play is like, yeah, that's everything that I've like ever wanted. So yeah, really
Because I
excited for
think
this.
even so, I think Aegis. How do you say her name?
People go back and
I
forth.
thought it was
I
Aegis.
yeah, I
Aegis.
say I guess, but yeah, I
Aegis.
don't know.
Okay. Aegis was a social link later on in the other versions, not in the original one.
Uh-huh.
I so if she is a social link in this one for in some, then we could like kind of potentially expect there to be more quality, not just of life improvements, but introducing social links that were not there originally, were at later on, but maybe not the nuances of like a second protagonist or whatever. So maybe it's just a middle ground. We'll
Yeah,
see.
but it's like remaking Persona 4 but not having the golden content. Like that makes golden content makes that story so much more
But that's
better.
the thing. There's only one
So,
other version of Persona 4. There's two other versions of Persona 3, and I feel
mm,
like they have to kind of mesh the two to kind of find a nice middle ground of what people truly loved about Persona 3 and what made them drop the game. So
mm,
I think this was trickier because you have three versions to kind of choose from.
that's
What's
fair.
weird? What's weird is that like I feel like Persona 4 Golden is, at least in my mind, is without a doubt the more popular. Like when you think about Persona 4, I think specifically of Golden. Like I don't even think about the OG version.
Hmm.
Um, Same with Persona 3. Like I think about FES more so than Portable and the OG. But with
Hmm.
Persona 5, I like to me I know people would say the definitive version of P5 is Royal, but I still think of OG Persona 5, the one that came out in 2017 for us, as like that's the more like iconic version to me at least. Like that is to me that's the equivalent of Persona 4 Golden or FES for me. Like it's more I more associate Persona 5 with that version more so than Royal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, mind you, I think Persona 5, the I mean, I don't know what the biggest differences are with 4 Golden and FES and Portable, but 5 essentially gave you a completely different third act, and a Royal did. So I feel like you have people that kind of just like the tightness of 5, but then people are like, some are like, oh, I like the extra content of Royal, and they're very different stories at the end of the day. By the end of the game, they're starkly different conclusions.
Yeah.
Uh, at least at one very very specific story beat. So like I feel like it's just they differ too much from each other, I guess.
Maybe
And
maybe
some
my like opinion of that will change if I actually like finish Royal
oh my
um
god,
and experience that new content, but
Wow,
Macho, did you finish it?
he had that opinion, didn't even finish.
Oh man, yeah, but it's to be expected. Okay, let's. Macho, did you
uh
did you finish Royal?
Yeah, I platinumed it. Hmm.
Okay. Uh,
okay, yeah, all
do you
right.
feel like it was justified, like a whole new release to make it a definitive version, or do you think it could have been just an addition?
Well, in this day and age, it could have been a DLC. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember, I think I said in the podcast, I just felt really burned paying $60 and having all of the bigger content I was anticipating near the last third of the game, which was like 100 hours into the game. So I was playing 100 hours of familiarity when I played the original like 3 times, I think, 2 or 3 times over. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as the content goes, yeah, it was absolutely worth it. Like once you actually got to that part, you're like, oh, okay, yep, this is what I was, skipping through 100 hours of cutscenes for because it was actually really good. I just wish it was slimmer, you know. And
Yeah.
the thing is, they actually made Persona 5 Royal, uh, not slimmer. They made it more uh, easier to kind of get through the story, right? Because you skip cutscenes and it was just faster gameplay and all that stuff. But even then, it took
And
me a
more
while to
quality
get
of
to it.
life stuff,
Yeah,
because the game is a lot quote unquote easier. Even the biggest challenges from 5, they're very very, I wouldn't say dumbed down, but they're more accessible, more beginner friendly in this time around. Like
yeah,
you have that whole exploit with um well, mind you, they did fix that. In P5 you could exploit the Reaper to get him to get the flu and kind of unalive himself and get like 72,000 XP or whatever. But in this one, they fixed that and you can't do that anymore. So they fixed certain exploits that you can do in 5. But then they introduce Izunagi Picaro, which is the most busted persona in history. You can literally one-shot bosses, but that's a DLC character. So like they kind of gave you more freedom at how to approach situations, and they fixed a lot of the main bosses. And that's the thing, Macho. Although it's familiarity,
they didn't
they
fish the fourth one. That's for sure. That
they
one was
literally
good.
gave every major boss a second face, like a second form, essentially.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So like Madarame, you know, you have the normal painting, whatever, and then he appears. But then you have the 5 different elements of Madarame. You have to hit each one with a different element. So they did kind of add stuff in between, but I feel like that could have been something they could have added with time, like through patches, because in this day and age, everything's so easily downloaded. But I think just Atlas is very old school of like, no, let's re-release it. One set. But people bought it, and I think it's a more popular, like a better story overall in Royal, I think.
This is making
I'm
me kind of like want to replay it, low key.
Go for it. I mean, I
Bro,
think it's worth replaying, especially if you haven't in a while. But since I played it pretty soon after, like I beat it like 2 or 3 times, I was like, all right, like, I'm kind of going through the motions right now. It's almost like they made those quality of life factors into it, so you can get to the actual new stuff at the end. But
and it's great.
yeah,
It's probably the best that Persona 5 has to offer.
it's
That
one yeah
final,
it's one of those things where like you can't see the game without that stuff now. You
Yeah,
know,
for sure. Um, yeah, honestly, I might actually have to install it after this.
it's really good,
Um,
really good.
all right. So, that's gonna do it for the 103rd episode of the DualShock and Sense podcast. Want to remind
Ching!
everyone to go ahead and like the podcast. Consider subscribing. We got a new subscriber, so thank you for joining the channel. We're gonna start with these outros. Walt, why don't you kick things off for us, man? What you got going on this week?
This week on the next episode of Walter, we got Diablo 4 being picked up and finally starting from scratch because nothing carried over, which is fine. I'm fine with that. I'm not mad that I got like 4 characters in level 20 on the beta. And I'm gonna be playing some Diablo 4. I'm gonna be watching Across the Spider-Verse probably 2 more times. Um, because essentially if I don't watch it, timelines kind of differ, and this is a canon event. Okay, I need to watch them. Um, what else am I gonna do? Honestly, man, I think Diablo's gonna be the main thing until the greatness, the epicness, the the absolute Chad that is Yoshi P's baby. Uh,
Yes,
that
sir.
is good. FF mother loving 16
Yes, sir.
coming around the corner. So yeah, that'll be my week, and just getting used to my new job. So kind of just figuring out when to put gaming now that I have the new schedules. Pretty fun.
Nice, nice. Macho, what about you?
Yeah, we got a couple of things to list off here. So tomorrow is Xbox Showcase. We also have the PC Gaming Showcase, and there's Final Fantasy 16's launch celebration live stream they're doing with a whole bunch of YouTubers and influencers are in LA. So we might get a demo announcement tomorrow. So expect that. That'd be really cool. But also, it's happening tomorrow. A new announcement for the channel. Tomorrow, we're going to be launching our very first of hopefully many episodes of a new talk show called Shocking the Senses. And I'm actually already confirmed my first guest for tomorrow. Her name is Sabi V, she's a Twitch streamer, but also a local, not local. She's a Twitch streamer and a what was it called? I don't want to say singer, but she's like a cover artist on YouTube, and she's
A
been
Vocaloid.
sure, yeah. She's been in the game for a long time, and she's a huge Final Fantasy fan, and I've been friends with her for years. So we're finally gonna jump on a live stream tomorrow to talk all things Final Fantasy, kind of cover her like musical background and stuff like that. It'll be a lot of fun. Um, and right before like the Final 16 and talking about Final 7 Rebirth, all that stuff. So tune in tomorrow for that. It's gonna be a little early because since she's in the UK, so we're going up at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So anybody that's sleeping can catch it afterwards or before like the game showcase. So it'll be really cool for people to pull up and check out her work and our discussion. That'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, so we got that tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the rest of the weekend's gonna be Diablo and learning Marissa and Street Fighter.
How about you, Soul? Oh no,
Sorry,
we lost him.
I was muted. We might have gotten some breaking news. Alana Pierce might have just spilled the beans on
Uh
Santa
oh.
Monica's next game.
What'd she
Oh,
say?
oh,
She's been talking a lot
brew.
too. Hello.
So
Whoa.
she hosts a podcast called Play Watch Listen. It's a really good podcast. I really love listening to it. Um, they were I don't have the exact context of the conversation, but basically the quote is um Mike Biffle, who's like one of the panel members on the podcast. He said, already while I'm writing unspecified sci-fi franchise that I'm currently writing, and then like the quote kind of goes on, and Alana said same, and she like laughed. So implying that she's currently writing, possibly she's like writing something, sci-fi wise, and people are thinking that like, okay, well then this could potentially mean that she's right sci-fi meaning Corey Barlog's next game, which we've kind of been speculating that his next game is something sci-fi related, so maybe a possible confirmation, you know. So
Alana, after she sees the headlines. That fucking sucks,
I was
bro.
like, huh?
Like, it ain't that like wasn't there talks about like something? I think it was during the making of God of War. They initially were trying to do something sci-fi, right?
No, they after Ascension they were working on a brand new IP, but it got canceled.
Right. So there is sci-fi residual of within Santa Monica. So I mean, hey, who's to say? I don't know. I'm not a speculator. I'm just an observer.
Um, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, for me, more just chipping away at Wasteland. Really, that's pretty much about it. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this week's podcast. And we will see you guys for episode 104. Peace out.